Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, Dub Winner, y'all. Welcome back. Bit later, yes. They in the building. Ugaski. Abdi Uncle Salam Lolo. The man team, yeah, come on, Cosmos. My family. What's going on? Sorry, a bit late, but it's Sunday. Got a bit delayed, got a bit madness. It was mad. But it was worth it. We got hella content this week. Some controversial. I do have some controversial topics coming up on some vids, but I'm gonna let you guys watch it this week, and then we'll talk during the week. You know them ones. But today's subject, it kind of manifested from last night. Still, last night it was kind of mad. Still, last night was mad. I think we spoke about the first hour. We spoke about independence and all that, but it just went straight into this type of topic. Couple of the man were up in here, we were talking. Yeah, I said it's in the title. What do you guys think? Has the West and far right feminism destroyed Somali feminism? Even all feminism, I'm not gonna lie to you, feministic ways, I don't know, is the West. And this is why we wanted to get into it, because when we saw this, and this video has been lurking, so I thought, let me play this video. Another video after, and then I'm gonna let you guys think. Let me break it down, yeah? Give me a sec. If you guys ain't seen this video, it's for the first time. It's kind of alright, so I want your thoughts on it still. And I think we did watch it last night, so for anyone that didn't watch it, or even if you watch it, I really want your thoughts. Leave in the comment section or in the chat section. It's totally up to you.
Andrew, and the people have been asking me to ask you this when you came on the show.
Okay.
As many people know, my parents are from Sudan.
Yep.
I grew up in a Muslim household, right?
Yep.
Let me hide this White Claw.
Sorry, bro. Sorry.
And I grew up in a traditionally Muslim household. My parents, both speak Arabic.
Yep.
Came from Sudan here in the 80s, whatever it may be. So obviously, I see the world a certain way.
Yep.
With men being men, women being women.
Yep.
And I notice in a lot of your Tate speeches and everything else like that,
yep.
me and you have very similar ideals when it comes to the way we view the world and Islam, women, etc. Yep. And I know that you did a big part of your, I guess, growing up in England, the
yep.
UK,
yep.
Luton to be exact, right?
Yep.
And very big Muslim population.
Yep.
What are some big takeaways you took from living with Muslims, seeing the lifestyle, seeing the religion?
Cool.
What's your take on that?
Right. So 3 points again. I always have 3 points. If you have a problem with feminism, Islam will fix it. If you have a problem with your wife not obeying you, Islam will fix it. Islam fixes a lot of the problems that men are currently facing. Yeah. The problems we're discussing on this show, Islam fixes all of them. Right? That's the first thing about Islam. And I'm not a Muslim, right? If I had to choose a religion, I would, because I live in an Orthodox Christian country, I go to the Orthodox Christian church. I donate $20,000 a month to the church in the country I live in. The church in Romania is very powerful, and I like having church friends. So I give them a lot of money, right? So I would guess I'm an Orthodox Christian. But if I had to bet on one religion as if I were betting on the stock market for the future, you have to bet on Islam. Because Muslims are intolerant. And I'm not saying that disrespectfully. Because if you're tolerant of everything, then you stand for nothing.
Yeah.
Facts. Christians are so tolerant now that you can go to church. These girls will get fucked on a Saturday night and go to church on a Sunday morning and get fucked on Sunday night. And it's no big deal, right? Yeah. So you don't believe it. They have gay pastors that I'm not even anti-gay, but if the book says don't have, like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
what do you believe in now?
Right, yeah.
If you're tolerant of everything, you stand for nothing. I can walk through London with a t-shirt saying Jesus is gay and nothing will happen to me. If I did the same thing with the Islamic prophet, I'd be dead before I got to the end of the street.
Boom.
That's how much they believe and respect. And I respect people who stick up for what they believe in.
Yeah.
It's not even about me believing in it. I respect them because they believe and they will defend. Muslims are the only people who will defend their religion. They will defend their beliefs. They refuse to be mocked. They refuse to be insulted. And I respect that about them. I respect that. That's an amazing thing about them, right? And the third point is, and I've been all around the world, Some of the best countries in the world today are the first world Muslim nations.
Yeah. Very true.
Qatar, you can go to Qatar, you can fall asleep with $1 million on your lap in the middle of the street. Nothing's going to happen to you.
Saudi Arabia as
You
well.
can go to Saudi, nothing will happen to you. You can go to Dubai, UAE, nothing's
They
going to happen
leave their
to you.
cars parked with the keys
in.
inside.
It's so safe.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so safe. Women, everyone's married. Every woman obeys her husband. Every single woman has 4, 5, 6 kids. Big families. All the things we're talking about, all the problems we have here, right? They've got none of that. None of it. Because of Islam. Islam keeps society in the role where women obey their man. Women have children. Women have big families. Women are exceptionally happy to do so.
Yes.
Before some Western girl comes in here and runs her mouth, the Islamic women are happier than any fucking thought you're going to see in the club tonight.
They're very true.
They're happy. Society is functioning. Their population is growing because in most Western countries, the population is declining.
Yep. Tim Cass was talking about it today. I was talking. We were
2
showing it on
people
the
have
boat.
1
Yeah.
kid. Doesn't work. Doesn't work, right? 2 people need to have 3.1 kids because people die, right? People die prematurely, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So we have population problems in the West. They have none of the population problems. Society is functioning. And that's what society is. Society starts at the smallest possible group. You have families, and families make a street, and that street makes a village, and that village makes a town, that town makes a city, and that city makes a country. So if it's broken at the very fundamental level, if its family level's broken, then it's broken the whole way up.
Yep.
And that's what's happened in the West. And the first world Islamic countries have none of those problems. So if you're going to talk about a belief system that fixes issues, you need to go to Islam.
And I will say this
that will
too.
fix everything.
And look, I'm not Muslim, but half my family is Christian, half is Muslim. Sorry to say this, the half that's Christian, they're all divorced. The
Yeah.
half that's Muslim, they're still married,
Yep.
hella kids,
Yep.
and they're happy.
Yep.
The wives do serve their husband.
Yep.
The kids understand
Yep.
the roles, and generally they're happy.
Yep.
You're right on that, 100%.
So I just have absolute, even though I wouldn't identify as Muslim, I have absolute respect for the ideology,
Yeah.
respect for the mentality, respect for the warrior aspect of it. I respect it.
They don't play.
They don't play. You can't insult their shit. But you can insult the church all day. You can make fun of it. There's a fucking show on Netflix about a gay Jesus. That's a joke, right? Ha ha ha. And
Damn.
what do the Christians do? Nothing.
Yeah.
Christianity is a dead religion. If you're a Christian, and I'm saying this as a Christian myself, Christianity is a dead religion which is confined to the history books. It's dying out. Your own Pope. The Pope goes up there and talks LGBTQ shit
That's
now.
crazy.
It is over.
That's
You don't
crazy.
stand for anything. You don't believe in anything. You have no boundaries. You're walked on. You're mocked. You're divorced. Your fucking Christian wife, after taking her to church for 20 years, will fuck the gardener behind her back. The whole thing is a joke. Being a Christian now is nothing more than advertising you're a loser. It's a losing religion because you've lost to Islam. That's the future of religion. in the
And I'll
world.
say this too, real quick, because I've been to Sudan before, and in Egypt, even like poor Muslim countries still have a pretty low crime rate because the laws are so severe. If you steal,
Yeah.
a lot of them are still Sharia law. They're going to cut off your left hand.
Yeah.
So you steal again, they cut off another limb. It's just like there's very severe consequences to crime. So it is what it is. And also for all the angry wominists out there that are watching us, like, oh my God, these two toxically masculine men are together making all these rants. Listen, as women have become more and more progressed, right, with womanism, right,
Yeah.
their approval ratings and happiness have gone down as they've made more money, become more free. They've become less happy. And 1 in 4 women in today's day and age is on some kind of antidepressant or sadness medication. You know what I'm saying? Antidepressant medication or anxiety. So what can you say? The stats show that as they become more liberated, they're less happy. Whereas you go to a country like, let's say, Saudi Arabia, right, where the women are, what's the term? They're like oppressed, but they're happier. Like, you know what I mean? What does it like? Because women derive pleasure not from career or making money, but from family. From having children, bro.
Yep.
Not from making money. The least happy.
Pimpin' Ken said, "A hoe without instruction is headed for destruction."
Bam, that's fast though.
Yeah,
And it's true. If they don't have a control mechanism over them, women just start making a bunch of dumb choices and end up depressed.
Dude, even in the Quran, it says it. If you leave a woman to her own devices, she's going to inherently self-destruct.
Yeah.
They need that male leadership, bro, because they're dictated by their emotions. You guys can call me toxic or whatever you want to say, but even religious says this. Christianity, Judaism, Islam,
All of them.
they all put men as the leaders of the household. Why? Because women, if you left to their own devices, are inherently self-destructive.
Yes, salam alaikum, salam alaikum. My brother in the building, creative. I love that. I love that. There was key points. What do you guys think? We played this yesterday. It has been circulating. There was a couple of key points I wanted to pick up in this. You get me? Yeah, inshallah. I hope everyone. Yep, that's a big way to come through. Big man come through. A big salam to everyone. You know them ones that still. So there's a couple of key points in that conversation that I wanted to pick up on. And I keep hearing this word, nowadays, that's toxic masculinity. That's toxic masculinity. Is that another shutdown? Is that a shutdown method tool, as the man them are saying? And yeah, like I said, my brother F, yo, hello.
Nah, my mic was muted. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. F is talk to me, my brother. What's popping?
I saw that clip, it's facts, walai. It's facts.
What do you think? Facts.
Facts, man. 100% walai.
You
Yeah.
come from the happiest country. You live in actually the happiest country by statistics, Denmark. Does that apply in Denmark as well?
I think it changed. I think it's some other country now. But the funny thing is, people they take happy pills. You get me? So it's not-
Antidepressants, all of this.
yeah,
all of this.
antidepressants. Yeah.
So, are you saying like when the brother said when the guy said he goes, women in Muslim countries, more dominantly prosperous Muslim countries, are more happier? What you guys think? The boy Ridley in the building. I got another discussion
Ridley
right now
James.
as well. I got another guy
Your mic's
called
muted, bro.
yeah.
His mic's muted.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you say? SS.
I'm going sorry, just coughing. Yeah, today is rainy. I think Duriba would die on my way home in it. Yeah. Jordan Peterson. I got a discussion from Jordan Peterson. This is another one I wanted to watch. Yeah. So let's watch this one as well, and then we get into a discussion after, innit? Do you get where I'm coming from?
All right.
Okay. My bad, guys, man. I'm sorry about that, bro. I thought I was playing the thing.
Nah, man. I was waiting, man. It's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool.
Equality, Sophie, what does it mean to you?
Freedom.
Can you be more? Is it equality of opportunity? Is it equal pay across the board? Is it something more than that?
I think equality is better for everyone. I
Yeah,
think,
okay.
and I'm really delighted, I love my job because it's an optimistic and a hopeful job, which is about creating more choices for people. I'm interested in people being able to have different choices and having equality of outcome.
Aha. Well, so you're going to have choices and equality of outcome. What if people choose different things, which is what they've been doing in Scandinavia? So the Scandinavian countries have moved more towards gender equality than any other countries. And the personality differences in Scandinavia have increased rather than decreased. And the proportion of women who are choosing STEM fields has decreased rather than increased. So as cultures become more gender neutral, the number of women who choose STEM fields decreases.
What do you mean
not
by STEM
increasing.
fields?
So science,
Science,
technology,
technology.
engineering, and mathematics.
I
So
think
if you let
actually-
men and women make their choices, what actually happens is that they specialize in different situations.
they
And you
not-
don't get equality of
Could they
outcome.
not have been programmed to have those views from the moment we raise them and give boys Lego and construction?
No,
girls?
because what happens is that as countries get more egalitarian, which means there's less programming of that sort, the differences get larger, not smaller. And the scientific data on that is clear. And most of it was generated by people who have a left-leaning bias, so you can't blame it on conservative scientists. It was a shock to everyone to find that out.
Sophie,
I think the difference between Jordan and me is that we look at evidence and we lean towards different theories. So Jordan's theory is very much evolutionary, you know, that there are inherent differences in men and women. Mine is very much more social role theory, if you like, and that men and women are taking on different roles due to the expectations that society puts on them. And it's interesting that Jordan frequently cites Scandinavian countries where they've made more, like there's nowhere in the world that women are equal, but Scandinavia has made the most progress towards shared parenting, etc.
Yep.
That said, it's not done yet. There's nowhere in the world where this is done yet.
But it's having the opposite effect that the gender equality types predicted. Opposite, not the same.
So
and it isn't a theory, it's actually data driven by tens of thousands of surveys and the best scientific literature on the topic. It's not a theory, and I didn't come about it because of my political perspective. I looked at the data. What it showed was that as countries become more egalitarian, the differences between men and women grow. They don't shrink.
So what I'm interested in is data and analysis as well. And I'm particularly interested in the ones presented, such as the ones by the University of Southern California, which discovered that change towards gender equality is actually being slowed by beliefs that are legitimizing social inequalities on the basis of sex. And I'm also interested, I mean, like Jordan, I look at the data and I look at the studies, and I'm really also very much interested in studies like the analysis that was done by the American Psychological Society, which looked at 45 analysis of whether there's sex difference over 20 years. And its conclusion was that men and women are basically alike in terms of personality, in terms of cognitive ability, in terms of leadership. But what it did find was that media depictions of men and women as fundamentally different perpetuate misconceptions, as does workplace bias.
Oh God, so it's my...
At Goldsmiths, we buy, sell and part exchange pre-owned watches.
fault.
So, no, well, you know, you're leaving soon. It's okay.
Men and women actually are more the same than they are different. But the issue is that small differences at the population level can turn into very large differences at the extreme. So, for example, men and women are broadly similar with regards to aggression, although men tilt a little bit more towards aggression. So that if you picked a random person out of the population, male and female, and you guessed that the male was more aggressive, you'd be right 60% of the time. But if you take the 1 in 100 most aggressive people, they're all male. And that's why the overwhelming proportion of people who are in prisons are male. Now, do you want to equalize that? Just out of curiosity? What about bricklayers? They're 99% male. And we've got about 3/4 of the population now in universities in the humanities and social sciences are female.
Yeah.
Are we going to equalize that? And men work longer hours. They work more dangerous jobs. They're more likely to move. They're more likely to work outside. They're more likely to participate in jobs in the STEM fields that are scalable. They make more money for those reasons. And that's all hidden under the idea that the reason that men and women make different amounts of money is because of their gender. It's a very simplistic analysis, and trying to
Michael,
address
I just want to say, Sophie, can you come back on that?
What I'm trying to equalise is opportunity and choice.
Fine, let's
And
equalise choice.
You agree
Absolutely.
on that.
But we won't get equal outcome that way.
And I think that what happens then, nobody knows, because we've never done it yet.
We do know. We know what's happened in Scandinavia.
But it's not fully got there yet.
No, but it's going in the opposite direction that everyone predicted, and strongly.
I think one of the things I loved about Jordan's book which I speed read last night, so forgive me, Jordan, I've not read every line. But one of my favorite rules in Jordan's book is Rule 9, which says, assume the person you are listening to might know something you don't.
Mhm.
And I think that in a country where men outnumber women by 2 to 1 in parliament, in local government, where women's voices are not equally represented in media, where our education systems still are teaching boys and girls ideas of pink and blue. What I'm trying to do is work with thousands of optimistic, hopeful people for change.
Okay. You kept very quiet through this, Michael. I'm going to make you put you under a bit of pressure. Do forgive me. I'm going to come to the calls in a moment. Your boss called the gender pay gap a burning injustice. Is it?
Yes, it is, because there should be inequality of opportunity. There needs to be the same rights. But you know, something that surprised me, that neither of you, and the quality of outcome, sure, all of that. But the one thing both of you haven't mentioned is the biological difference, which unfortunately affects women's career prospects, whether we like it or not. Babies. And that does cause a problem. You know, if I were to take a sabbatical from a corporation for a while, it's going to set me back slightly. And it is a problem that biologically it's women who have babies, not men.
Sure, but that's why we are the Women's Equality Party is the only party in the UK that's got policies around shared parental leave. We're the only party that has got fully costed plans for universal free childcare. What we're saying is that
we're trying to
change the outcomes, and also men are joining our party. Men who are really tired. I'm sure I'm going to have a word with Michael because I am sure he'll want the application.
Okay.
We take joint membership.
Forgive me. I want to take one call if you'll forgive me, because time is really short, and I owe it to the viewers to hear their views on this.
We've got Salim calling from Manchester.
Salim, good morning.
Hi, Matthew. How you doing?
I'm very well. I'm loving it. I'm pig in heaven today. What do we think about equality? Will it ever happen, Salim?
I was going to say I thought it was going to happen, but after listening to Jordan, he's swayed my opinion.
Why did you think it was going to happen?
Because I think we're going to become more cognitive creatures, and jobs are going to be more about mental skills,
technology.
But then I've been visited schools, and I work in STEM. I'm a software developer, and the number of women doing software development hasn't increased. I would have thought they would have increased more, but I went into secondary school to do GCSE IT stuff, and there's very, very few girls doing IT. And I was thinking, IT is the future, and the schools are pushing for more girls to go into IT, but there's only I visited about 8 schools.
Can I just, sorry, Salim, can I just because I 30 seconds. Sophie's idea, actually, representations in the media could be affecting such choices. Geeks, we see geeks, bespectacled blokes with bad hair on computers. That's what tech means, isn't it?
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, because I think actually that one of the other things we want to do is to have a look at curriculums, to have more female role models, to encourage girls, because so long as we still see STEM as a boys' area that we're trying to get girls into, it's not going to work. We need to do the work we're doing on care, get more boys thinking about, nursing, teaching, more role models for boys in schools.
And
that's the way you break it all down.
Programs like EastEnders, The Archers, that's helped them.
Right. So, listen, I have to draw things to a conclusion. Can I just say how wonderful 3 people, diverse political views, diverse views on many other issues, that get along famously and have wonderful conversations. Thank you. That is exactly the ambition that I have for this show. So, Jordan, good luck with the book. It is out now. It's called 12 Rules for Life.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ritz, you there?
Yeah, man. I heard everything. What do you think about it?
Ooh.
Yeah, you're right. That's the fact. Women have the same opportunities to go to the STEM, yet they still choose the jobs that they choose. That's the irony. Because those jobs are hard too, man. Those are the real money makers right there, man. Science, technology, engineering, math. Gender studies isn't shit, bro. Who the hell wants that shit? Imagine doing 4 years just to talk about the difference between men and women and not getting paid for it.
Damn.
You dropped it.
So you're saying equality. What about equity?
No, fam. At the end of the day, wallahi, alhamdulillah, this is a problem in the West. You know, this is not a problem for our people and our culture. Like you know, maybe advocating women's rights isn't so bad. You know what I mean? Let them go to school, let them get jobs, let them live their life. You know what I mean? Let them do what they want to do. But at the same time, you gotta control your own society. You gotta be the leader. You know what I mean? You gotta control the where the community or the people that you're ruling, where their future should lie and where they should be headed to. You know what I mean? There should be one leader. You know what I mean? And that's the man. It's as simple as that.
Mm.
You know, you're not trying to be like Scandinavia, just like you said. Like Scandinavia is a cuck country, fam. Like the Muslim immigrants are dominating over there. You know, like they're doing what they want to do.
So what are you saying? Does that degress the society? Are they just realizing that?
Fam,
Or is it too late?
You know what I think, fam? Let time play. It's 2021. Let's wait until 2030. We'll see where the society goes. That's how it's supposed to be. We shouldn't try to fix the problem. You know what I mean? The problem is already set. The powerful elites want this to happen. You know, the Jews, they're the ones pulling the strings for this shit. You know, they know exactly what they're doing with their whole agenda, with miscegenation and all that shit, with liberalism. You know what I mean? With globalism, they want all of that shit. They want to destroy identity. They want everyone to be one. That's bullshit, man. You know what I mean? Like we're all different, and we all have to acknowledge those differences. These are the same people that believe in white privilege. You know what I mean? Like I would never believe a white man he has more benefit than me in his own country, of course. How can I complain? What the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Every person in their indigenous land should be higher than anyone else. Of course, it's pushed by the left, 900%. The left is the worst people. Imagine having an ideology which is encompassed with your less dominant hand. You know what I mean? That's what's called the left, you know, because it's less dominant. You know what I mean? It's not. That's what everyone has right wing. Conservatism is better, fam. Liberalism is easy for females because it allows them to get tattoos, piercings, dress a certain way, do all.
But isn't liberalism running the world right now? Ain't we far moving to the far progressive left,
You see, the
as you
Adan,
say?
the Adan wants to go back to. Like, there's a high rise in nationalism, high rise in far right wing politics, but the Yahud is trying to make it to be left. You know what I mean? The Yahud is the one that's controlling all of this. You know what I mean? He's controlling the narrative for all of this. This is what they want. The most dangerous thing for countries like America, the UK, and everything, and I mean mostly in America and Canada, is immigrant groups to have conservative views and values. They don't want that. They want them to have liberal views and values. And it doesn't help that whites are parading and supporting immigrants. It's weakening your struggle. Like this is gonna sound very sexist, but a revolution was never led by women or homosexuals. You know, it has to be led by conservative, you know what I mean, strong-minded males. That's how change happened. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's never led by them. You know what I mean? It's never. That's why BLM will never work. It's always a joke. It will never work. You know, LGBT is only being supported because there's an agenda behind it. It's supposed to destabilize society.
No, but if you see that, how can you combat that then? You see it from a mile, or how can you combat that?
You have to combat that by sticking to your own community and helping your own community develop. You're supposed to isolate yourself from the greater society. You know what I mean? Just integrate economically and education wise. But when it comes to going out and mingling with other people, don't do that. Be that type of group that stays insular and that keeps to themselves. You might not grow as fast, but you still grow thoroughly. Like the Chinese. You know what I mean? They don't mix and mingle with other people. They have their own Chinatown everywhere across the world. They help their own kind. They force their kids to go an education, and they become successful. You know what I'm trying to say? Like you don't want to be like let me a group. Like you don't want to be like who's the group? Like let's like certain like Caribbean groups, for example, who are highly assimilated and who are losing their culture and their ancestral background to mix in,
Yeah.
and who are not progressing and moving in society. You know
No,
what I
but
mean?
with globalization and look, if we're dispersed around the world, as Somalis, you already know since 1991, refugee camp out here, you know them on internet, yeah. You cannot help but assimilate. It's seeping in. You already see it, fam.
But you know what
Even today.
assimilate me? Like in your college, you consider yourself assimilated?
I'd say I've got a bit of London in me.
Yeah, but like
I'm a product of my environment. I live in London. I've been here nearly
So do you have the same value as do you have the same values as the British society?
No, hell no. Hell
Exactly.
no.
That assimilates me.
But I got similar values, but there's some similar values I've got,
You integrate
there
it.
is something in me. There is something in me where, like, the diaspora in me where, like, I'm tolerant to other people's thoughts. You know, the ones listening. You know, not shutting people. You know, there's a lot, fam. I'm not gonna lie to you. The West, there is a lot. You get where I'm from?
So okay, so have you fully taken British culture as your own culture?
Hell to the no.
That's
Hell to
how
no.
can
You
you
don't
be
know.
assimilated?
No, I wouldn't say I'm assimilated, but you know, product of you can't. But look, if you've been somewhere like for a bit of a
So you integrated then. You've
I'll say
integrated.
integrated. Like I'll say integration. Yeah, there's integration. Obviously, I can think about it from the age of 3, and I'm like early 30s. I've been here, innit? Like I don't know, 30 years of my life. So what are you gonna expect?
Because even being a practicing Muslim, you know how hard is it to assimilate Ngalo liberal culture? Islam is a very conservative religion, has conservative
Yeah.
values in their life that you can't like even like free mixing for Islam is not supposed to happen, but in the West that's normal. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to be in the same gyms or the same classes sometimes. It depends what culture you're dealing with, right? Some cultures like
Mm.
Saudi Arabia are different than cultures like Morocco, but and in general consensus, right? There's certain
Mm.
practices in Islam that makes you not easy to integrate. I mean, to assimilate in the West. Muslims have failed to assimilate in the West. There's even Denmark right now. They're even trying to like the crime statistics. They're using
Mm.
religion as a way to like count the who does the crime. So if a Somali or Afghan commits a crime, they're gonna count that, and if a Filipino does, and they're gonna make a distinction between that all the crime that happens in Denmark has a
Mm-hmm.
correlation with religion and culture to show the
Mm-hmm.
people who's the one that's causing disturbance, who's the one that's not
Mm-hmm.
assimilating, integrating to Danish culture, who's the one that's
Mm.
causing havoc and you know what I mean, like degenerating society. Because even going back to your question, like, what do you think about feminism? You know what I mean? Do you think it's ruining the even the Somali community or
I
anything?
know. Yeah, the
Good.
Somali community. I'm gonna be like, I think we're co-washing. You get where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Because when I'm starting to listen to like certain girls that have hitting certain numbers, you're talking like a little teenage woman right now, innit? Yeah, where you're unhappy, them ones, and you're just masking up your unhappiness, innit? Yeah, that's like raw. I'm thinking, what happened to Habli? Them ones, where there's all this venom, like, and so things that you're saying yesterday, kind of sunk home. Some of the stream yesterday, them ones. If you ain't watched that stream, please go back to it. Really was dropping gems, them ones where
I was
with the
dropping
feminism. What I think, do you know what it is your generation right now? You could be saved, but now there's a hell of a lot of girls like I hate to say it, but the boy Kevin Samuel smashes it better than leg with the money on.
No,
You get
I
what I'm
don't like.
from?
I don't think so. I don't think so with Somali women. I don't think so. It depends. Yeah, maybe, but I think there's a big shift within the culture and the community, right? With interracial marriage being highly practiced, if women, which a lot of women will do, if they open their options, they won't really die alone because there's a lot of Adan men who are much more liberal, much more open-minded, which a lot of women go towards to no matter the race because they're more open-minded. They have much it's easier because they are being puppeteered by the white liberal daddy. See, real
Yeah.
most
So
men
yeah, that's the word I was looking for yesterday. You dropped it. The white liberal daddy. Is he a problem right now?
to me, to be honest, I mean, if you want to unite the Somali community, 190%. If you don't care, then no. At the end of the day, he's going because the Adan conservative himself doesn't like this at all. There's a reason why these attacks are happening. Most cultures are clashing. A
Yeah.
couple of years back, 10 years ago, I remember
Yeah. Yeah.
being young. Everyone said, "Oh, the world's gonna be mixed. The average person is gonna be brown. We're all gonna be together." Everyone thought racism was gonna end. It's actually heightening. It's actually
Yeah.
increasing. As liberals are complaining about white people in the past, of colonialism, and more white people are becoming proud of their cultures because they're trying to cuck the white man, but it's reversing. The white man,
Yeah.
he's not ashamed of his culture. He's not ashamed of his heritage. He's proud. Who
Yeah.
wouldn't be proud of colonizing the world and dominating every race on the face of the earth? Come on, let's be real. You're not gonna. That's what they call
No,
the
it
white.
wasn't really like that, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Do you think it
Come
was
on,
only the
man.
last?
Don't be like that. If you're a Wolves roboting every race in the world, you'd be proud. Come on, Khaled. You know that.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I
Your
mean,
granddad's really
I
like.
was, you know what I mean. But me
Yeah.
personally, I take pride in my heritage of who I am. I integrate in the West. I do what I'm
Yeah.
supposed to, but I'm conservative. I'm not going to I'm not going to piggyback other people's struggles. If a community is struggling, that's not my issue. You're not from my. I'm struggling too. As we speak right now, there are people of our ethnic background and on our homeland who are struggling to eat and can't read and write. That's a bigger priority for me to try to do and to bring
Come on.
awareness to that.
Fire. This is why I love Ridley, man. He said priorities first, fam. We gotta fix home.
Exactly, but even then, it's
Yeah.
like, because let's stick to the topic, right? With the feminism, rulism.
Yeah.
I think the difference Somali culture is very patriarchal, very
Mhm.
dominant. Is that Somali women compared to other Muslim countries, even they kind of have a little more agency, so they're very outspoken. They feel
Yeah.
they're the only group of females that I know who are open, who are vocal online onto tarnishing the Somali male image. We can have these discussions in private in our
Mm.
forums, in our community, stuff like this. But going on a Galo fucking a social media website in front of everybody yelling this, it's an embarrassment. You
Yeah,
know?
but this is what I'm saying, Ridley. You see, me and you were two different generations, isn't it? Yeah. I have not noticed that. Maybe I'm not, tech savvy. Like I'm not on certain, like, I'm not Twitter. I'm not on none of these kind of platforms, isn't it? Yeah. With me, it's just straight Instagram, YouTube, probably Facebook. That's about it. Yeah. But how prevalent is this? What you're talking about, the inside fighting online? Is that a problem? I don't. Go on, talk to me.
Because online, like you said yesterday, is not real life. But since the last 2 years, I've been very into the Somali, online sphere, and I'm starting to see, especially a pattern. One is gender wars. Two is a lot of this is centered in the United Kingdom, and three is this is all paraded through females. I don't know what it is. They're trying to liberalize. They want Somali men to be soft and liberal. Because this is the irony. And let's say if Somali men were high earners, it'll be because, they're maybe not masculine enough. If they're not, it's not masculine, they're not liberal enough. They'll always find an issue within us. It's like the same thing with the East Asian community. East Asian men are high earners. They're not crazy. They're not like, they're decent guys, but the females still don't want them. It's something innate within the female, right? Like I said, majority of Somali females born in this generation, my generation, have a lot of, especially in the United Kingdom, low self-esteem to the trash. It's in the trash. It's in hell. It's like no pride whatsoever. They hate them. How many men do you know that lied about?
Are you sure though, man? When you generalize it, no
Yeah,
habla
you
higher.
can go online. You know what low self-esteem means? Hate of who you are and your origin. And why is there Somali women calling themselves ex-Somali? Is that normal? You don't have to associate with your culture and your people. You don't have to talk about them. You could disassociate. There's so many other solutions. Even a guy wrote an article. It was in 2017. I didn't read the whole thing. He wrote like an essay or like a peer-reviewed something like that. He talked about how even this is a man, how he was ashamed to be Somali because of the media coverage of what it was representation at the time of how it was like basically Somalis were seen as terrorists, famine, pirates.
Yeah, but would you just say that's a weak individual amongst the group? Come on, you can't really judge it. You can't really get really mad because maybe say if that person does feel like that though, let's put that in consideration. This person feels like this, and is disconnected. He sees this, and they claim because I've never heard of an ex-Somali, man. That's kind of amazing. I ain't never heard that shit yet.
That's crazy, man.
You don't want to go into you don't want to go to this realm. They exist a lot. This is a very female oriented realm. There's a girl I can tell you to Google. You're going to be shocked. Her name is it's Somali on Twitter. Gabra Iskufilin. I swear to God, the last 3 years, all her Twitter is about bashing Somali culture, Somali men, Somali everything. That's all she keeps talking about how she ran away from I'm not gonna lie, she had a rough life. She was forced to marry. She came from Somalia. She was supposed to do this. And her mother was forced to wear jilab.
Do you really believe them Chinese stories, man? Them Crimea River, the crocodile tears.
For who,
I was forced to do this. No. I mean the crocodile tears. I was forced.
I mean, yes, I can because Somali culture is sometimes it can be very bad. If your mom or your hoy or someone in your family is born in the Reimi or the Reimi people, Badiou people, they have very backward type of culture.
Yeah, but in until that, okay, what do you do? All right, you see when a man starts going on a bad path, yeah, I get it. But what because I know how I would like to ask everyone right now, yeah. What do you do on a bad path? What do you do as a parent? What do you do? How do you combat that?
Yeah, I told you yesterday, fam. There's a certain age limit that you just have to let it go. It starts within her own parents, her own family. You know what I mean? Like J. Cole said, she don't want to be saved, don't save her. She don't want to be saved, don't save. Like, you can't save these females. Wallahi, you can't. Like, you let her go.
Big up J. Cole.
No,
It's just, God.
bro,
Man's
like,
on the
these
mic
girls,
today. Yeah.
that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Like, you just have to let it go. You just gotta let it
G
go.
G Marley, the first Somali sister to make a comment. Walk on. That's for Ridley there.
There's an agenda on the Somali community, and it stems from our geographical location in Islam. In the film industry, there's a big push on push on female Somali-led filmmakers. There's money given to them. So what does that mean, Gmail? Like, I'm confused. Like, so what kind of narrative are they trying to paint? Because I feel personally, I understand from the female's point of view that they have a lot more. They have a
Is that? Sorry, let me check. Sorry,
yeah, that's Thomas Jefferson.
is that him?
Yeah, what's up?
Yo, that's the brother. I have to do a quick security check.
Yeah.
You know them ones.
I just want
Is that the brother?
Yeah.
Welcome back. I thought you left and said. I thought you said you never come back to this place.
Nah, bro. You know, sometimes, bro, you look at the sky and then you're like, let me go and.
I love you, though. The other day I had to defend you. A lot of people were getting on to you. They're like, fuck John was JT. I was like, nah, man, JT's my guy. Got love for the homie.
I'm getting bucked, bro. I hate myself too sometimes, bro. You feel me? It's a natural thing. You feel me?
It's a natural. Come on. You came back. What are you saying? There's another fight in you. There's another fight in you.
You see, really, you feel me? I popped up. Niggas follow me. You feel me? What's up, bro?
All right. So let me just finish off.
Yes, I jumped in because Thomas Jefferson was over the measure.
The security guard. We have to watch the boy. The boy is dangerous, bro. All right, listen. Riz, let Riz finish off. Yeah. Thomas. Yeah, he knows what time it is. Go on.
I just wanted to say this basically, like, going on to what I was saying. Even what Gmail was saying, basically, there is an agenda, but at the same time, it's like it's not normal to speak ill of your own kind or air out your dirty laundry online. It's an embarrassment. I get it. We have issues as a community, but why is Somali community seem as the only one that is that damaged? Somali community can fix itself in 10 years. There's a lack of initiative, there's a lack of unity, and there's a lack of productivity, which can all be fixed. But with the female kind, I don't want to put it always on the females, but a lot of them have a psychological issue that starts at home. A lot of them have some real like you know what I mean, self-esteem issues, like you know what I mean. It can happen to the best of us. Like when people bash you for your heritage and your name and who you are, it can either make you or break you. You know what I mean? For me personally, that shit made me stronger. You know what I mean? For other people, it makes you hate yourself. You know what I mean? Always constantly the news is parading you. The news is giving your enemies ammunition to attack you. You know what I mean? Really, the news will give us a bad rep, but still, like, now we're good. Now we can fix ourselves. We can look forward to the future. But instead, they like to talk about the past. They don't no one likes to take accountability for their actions.
So listen, but say if some of the sisters do feel like that, do you blame them? Say if they come from broken homes and shit weren't really jiggy like that, and it's just one or two people online. Because this got on, it's disturbed you, bro. You saying?
It disturbed me. No, it disturbed me because I'm looking at it in a sense like, you see how our community, right? We can point out men's problems, and none of us are gonna say anything. We will debate about it. We'll talk about it. But when it comes to females,
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. The angels.
What's the topic, brothers?
Well, the topic is, as feminism and the West destroyed the Somali femininity, how believe could die in the West? Because Ridley last night conversation he went in bullet points. He was bullet points with gems.
But you know what? Wallahi, he was speaking the truth most of the time, but because women are women, man. Who's that?
Najib Abdi. Yo, oh, gang, family also in the builds. Love, GG. I see you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Like I was saying, bro, take it from someone's married, bro, with ups and downs and that. The thing about women, bro, they're like kids. Now, I don't care who you think you are nowadays. Just because you speak a good level of English, yeah, or use big words, does not make you intelligent. You're still a child. I'm not saying all women are like that. Well, there's women obviously from back home. People who have a lot more patience. It all comes down to patience with the husband. You know me.
Come on. I know.
But like I said, it's all about the patience, man. Have they got patience enough? Because have they got enough patience to deal with you? Because I know women, bro. Yeah. You know, especially nowadays, these feminism and all this stuff, bro. Nin hadday helan, bro. They'll become like عيال, emotional.
But do you think so?
I
Do you think
I don't take them
no,
too serious, bro.
Mahmoud, do you think some of them had even at the Nin Halan, do you think they can handle a real man right now in this day and age?
Wallahi, it depends. And I was always just coming back to the point of, man, us as Somali men, bro, a lot of us are slacking. We idolize road life. I used to do this, I used to do that, bum, 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 bum. So that, to be honest, yeah, you can't really have a proper conversation with someone like that. We go back to our culture, but like Riddy was saying, we are the man of the house, the man of the stuff like that, you know. So we implement what our forefathers have done in our day-to-day life and our home life and outside life, with a bit of mix, obviously, not too much. Well, we'll be fine. But
طب الرجي عدنا رجعتنا ما ضل برين محين نقولنا
that's what I'm saying. رجني كم مقن monkey. إمك Kenya look
so okay,
helping each other.
Okay, so okay, let's reverse that then. So is that a man's fault? This is what really is here then. If it's all gonna come back,
I wouldn't say it's a man's fault, but I think we should set the example and we should run things. We should run our women same way the Turkish men run their women, same way the Pakistanis, well, most of them run their women. Simple, you know. And the only way can see is bring yourself somewhere where no one can drag you down. Simple. Not just by talking, by action. Do something for yourself. So get a savings, buy a house, buy a car. Think of your future, man. Naga will come to you directly, and then guess what? You always have the upper hand. But if you're gonna be like 50-50, of course feminism is gonna take over. Bro. Oh, I'm paying this and that. What the fuck what can you say? Your pride can only say, oh, let me pay that, and you're gonna struggle the next month. But that's not how it works. Establish yourself before even getting married, bro. Because tomorrow, bro.
Yo, bro,
if you're married with an empty hand, empty pocket, bro.
Let JT's in the bills. Let JT take the mic. He's been quiet awfully. Mic's all yours, broski.
It's not JT, bro. It's TJ. You feel me? JT.
I'm sorry, TJ. TJ, my bad. I put my hands up. I got that wrong, man.
I was like, yo, who's JT? I was like, but anyways, on a real note, first of all, you know, I'm not Islam, you feel me? You know, you my dogs, you know, I fuck with you. I think last time I popped off a little, but again, I might pop off too, you feel me? Pop off like a bottle, but
come on.
We're running women, we should check women, we should what am I listening to, bro? Like
Kiwi, now I recognize your voice.
It's key, bro.
I'm making Kiwa.
You already know, bro, but listen, bro, what do you mean we gotta run women, bro? Me, right, as an advocate, consumer of women, right? I understand women, bro, you feel me? But what are you saying, bro? Okay. Bro, we gotta call it out, bro.
What's so khalad about what I said?
It's misogyny, bro. It's misogyny. Say that you
pinpoint what I said that was khalad. Or was
bro,
it the whole thing?
We said we need to run our women like the Turkish people.
Like, yeah, in a sense. But have you heard what I said? In the sense of we need to get ourselves somewhere decent. So there's no equality between man and woman, bro. Every person should know their role. Simple as ABC, bro.
Bro, you're giving people roles, brother. You're giving women roles, man. Don't do that.
Roles,
bro.
Yeah, women's role.
Don't give them roles.
You don't
bro.
believe in it?
I don't believe it, bro. If she wants to be a pilot, she can be a pilot, bro. If she wants to,
we're not restricting her from pursuing her career, bro.
Women don't, bro. What century are you living in? 16th century.
Bro,
we need
this is what I'm saying. You didn't even listen to me, bro.
I listened to
you. You know what? You didn't listen because I never said anything about limiting their careers or putting a lid on top of them, bro, where they can't reach any further.
You said something ambiguous, bro. You said let's give them roles. You give them pre-marital things. You say
ورياض بس هو
let him finish, AB. Let him finish.
Let him finish. Let the brother come in.
Let him finish. Let him finish, guys. As soon as he finishes, then we can see what the key points he's talking about. You get me?
Bro, number one, right? As Somali men, bro, we gotta start controlling. Brother, let me finish, bro. Be civilized. Anyways,
okay.
You know, and the other brother said something too. He was like, Mokte, oh, men are road, sanwai, they're becoming feminine, they want to control things with like stuff like that, bro. Let women be free, bro. I'm an advocate for women's rights and women's issues, you know. And
who's stopping them from being free?
bro, because you
You're
try to
just going around circles, bro.
Bro, you trying to put them in cages, bro. That's what you trying
Who's
to do.
putting them in cages?
You,
Listen,
bro.
this guy is very one-sided, man. You didn't
Bro,
even
you
listen
trying
to
to
what I
put them in
said.
cages. Hashtag, bro.
Yup. And you're trying to be run by them, and you want to be in a cage. That's what
I
it is.
don't want to be in a cage. I want women to be free, bro.
The you spot there, calm, Munio.
Facts, bro. Some of these niggas.
Let the brother
bro,
talk. Where's
insult,
AB?
bro. Go ahead. I'm done.
Brother AB, do you want to come through? Brother AB, come
طب
through.
محمد شاقي صقل
Mike's all yours, floor's all
انا
yours.
هلا دقيقته بس هو قبت مره وراني بس هو قبت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم
صلى الله عليه
فرت
وسلم.
مرك هو دخلتين من رجع brothers يا فرت سيف يا عمي مغلسين.
Yeah, you're breaking up. Well, you don't go guys, go on.
Can you hear me?
You don't go guys, we can hear you now. Go ahead. Hello. 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 I come back in, man.
I can hear myself late.
Yeah. Do you want to come back in? Come back in. Yeah, let him come back in. Anyone got any points? Ridley F. Mohammed Shida.
This guy is he's trying to bring his own shit. All I was saying is, the man themselves are so how are they gonna run anything?
Bro, why can't I be?
I didn't stop this guy. I didn't stop women from I didn't say put a cap on them and don't let them pursue their careers or whatever. I was specifically saying that it's the man also to blame, bro. Straight.
Noor Abdi said he's a liberalist. He wants all of them to be free. Why? Why?
Snow bunny sort about that. I'm not even.
It's not. Listen, bro. I'm give you the gems, Infante. I'm gonna drop some nuggets for you, Infante. The more you try to control women, bro, the more they trying to do the opposite thing, Infante. Let them be free, bro. Like a
according
butterfly.
to who?
According to me, bro. According to Thomas.
And I'm assuming you with a woman, or you still going with your snow bunnies?
And me, bro, I'm a consumer of women, Infante. I understand women. You know what I mean? I'm an advocate consumer of them. So I know the psychology of it. There's one brother even said, women, I think it was Ridley or was it Faye? Someone said that women like, how can you say stuff like that? Someone said that, bro. Someone said that. Someone said that.
Mahmoud said it.
I heard it. Someone said,
I did say that.
I think I got it now, guys. I think I've got it now.
Perfect. Perfect.
Do you know what I was doing? I was listening to the show. And then at the same time, I was trying to come on. So I've switched off the show now.
Yeah, no.
Now I'm
yeah. That's the best thing to do. Yeah.
Okay.
You're in.
As I was saying, boys, yeah. ماشي مع عيالك أي شوقة أما رجع شوقة ماشي.
That's what I'm trying to explain.
I think a bit of both.
So why are we calling females عيال? hooyadii ku dhashay walaalo ayaa ciyaal ugu yeedhaysa ka waran dhaqan xun let me finish dhaqan xun oo Soomaalidu ay leeyihiin ayaa ku soo raacay walaalo yami to call a female ciyaal what is wrong with you walaalo hooyada ayaad caayaysa walaashaad caayaysa ayadaad caayaysa wixii kula dhasho dhaa caayaysa walaalo yes it is right that they are more vulnerable than us they may be more softer than us in certain ways but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them strength that even you don't have walaalo ma fahamtay so how dare you first of all call them ciyaal walaalo secondly in terms of this topic tonight, yes, there is a major war that's going on. It's called a gender war, and there's also a cultural war that's going on. It's a continuation of the divide and conquer that these bastards brought upon our great-grandfathers, and it's still continuing till today. For example, when a family comes to the UK as refugees, the father and mother are separated because the mother is given direct access to income only for her, and the father's told to go to work, and if he goes to work, he has to pay all the bills in the house, which he's left with absolutely nothing. So it is decided in Somali culture that we're better off, ripping off the gallows, So because we've taken down that route, you know what I mean? So all the things that we should be doing within Islam, we're not doing well, and we were left with Somali culture. What is Somali culture? We cut little girls, fam, and we chew green cocaine. Do you understand? Leave Somali culture to the side. Do you get me? Go back to
Yo, what's going on?
Are you guys there?
What happened to you? We can hear you. What happened to you? You're dropping some gems.
Yeah, that's where I stopped. The So you need to understand that what I was saying. I made the points that I was saying, yeah. But there's a mad gender war going on.
Sorry. We got a new panelist. Yo. Wait 1 second. We got a new panel. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello, Mr.
How you doing, brother? You alright?
All right, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Alhamdulillah.
Mahashakte.
Alhamdulillah, not too bad. How you doing?
Yeah, well, you're right.
Yeah, I'm good, man. So love the stuff you're doing, man. So this.
Come on. Come through, Mr. Brother, yeah?
Okay, thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Welcome. Who was next? Who was talking? AB. Mahmoud.
Yes,
you called the girls Iyal.
Yes.
Sorry.
When you give me a chance, I'll explain what I meant by that. Yeah.
Okay.
I will now. I just want to quickly complete what I was saying. Somali culture, if you want to look at Somali culture, you have to remember some of the oldest mosques in this world, yeah, are in Somalia, are within our territories. Yeah? The Qiblas are still, some of them are directed to Al-Aqsa. That's how old the mosques are. Yeah? So our culture has been so distorted by Westerners, yeah, that we believe things like chewing chad is our culture. Calling a woman Iyal is our culture. Yeah, I hear this from the elders, fam. Iyal way and you are no, walalo, this is your companion. He create you guys as pairs. So yeah, I will leave it at that for now.
Okay. Mahmoud, do you wanna defend the statement that you made? Because in the Dumurko Iyal, when I said Iyal Khalar Daqmat, do you wanna explain it to the Somali?
Yeah. If you give me a chance. Basically, take it from a guy who's been married almost 10 years now, yeah, as you know. Kabdaha, when I say Iyal, I don't mean like a 5-year-old where you can just, you can turn them left, right, and center. I mean Iyal as in emotional, as in they might say stuff out of emotions rather than using their brains, yeah? But, stuff like that. And also, some of them get angry. They might say something that's so painful to you, but then they might not even mean any of it. Do you get what I'm saying? They might play school play.
This is called delicate. Listen, a female.
She's delicate. I know. She's delicate. Yes.
Delicate. So
does not believe
she's more delicate than you,
brother. Of course, do you not believe that's Iyal tendencies though? I should maybe use that word.
No, you can't call this Iyal walalo because she's a female. You know what? Kabad adiga caruurtaada ciyaalkaagii adiga dhalaysa walaalo ayaad ciyaal leedahay ka waran isla yaa walaalo
iyadu uma saarin. Okay, I should have said ciyaal tendencies. Do you not believe that's ciyaal tendencies? Certain things that
this is femininity weeyaan waa gabadh weeyaan way jilicsan tahay walaal hadday jilicsan tahay waa ilaahay ku abuuray emotion ka ma fahamtay and it's useful to her for when it comes to raising her kids and loving her husband. Do you get it? But like in
terms of how we label that.
Let me finish. Somalidu, yeah, markeena horeba dumarkeena walaal si khalada ayeen ula dhaqmnaa ma fahamtay yeah si khalada ula dhaqmnaa sidii sunnada waana loola dhaqmaa ma fahamtay walaal yeah. So if we're not doing that walaal yeah, we can't be calling them iyal walaal.
No middiisadi. Okay, let's disagree how I've labeled them, but okay, call them delicate, whatever you want to call it. The main point I was making is I got the whole time from yesterday, yeah. I'd say Nimanka fix up. Nimanka need to fix up more than women. Women are doing better than men. But I didn't even get a chance to finish my sentence. The point I was making is men are in the wrong because men at the moment, they're not being productive. They idolize bullshit, road life, other bullshit. And then they get angry because the women become academics and they go somewhere far. And then they say, oh, these women, they think they're better than us. They are better than you. Why are they not better than you? We can sit here and talk about them all day long. But realistically speaking, the whole point I was saying, women are all these things, it was leading up to the point where men are not really men anymore. They're boys to an extent.
Brother,
do you agree, yes or no?
Brother, are you mad? Do you analyze what is men or not men, bro? People are different, bro. I don't get it.
That's true.
Like we think that, bro. People change, bro. Human beings are not stagnant. We evolve, bro. So this is a new.
So what would you call a man then?
Bro, I don't identify as a man. I identify as a capitalist. You feel me? But
what?
On a serious note,
I beg your pardon. So what? I beg your pardon. You don't recognize yourself as a man.
Lincoln. I told you, Lincoln was bullshit.
As a capitalist. So what? You're a devil worshipper. You're a devil worshipper.
I like money, bro. I like money. bro.
What Abu said, the main it becomes worship. Wallahi becomes worship.
Guys, stick to the topic. Stick to the topic.
Let's not digress.
No.
That's what I was saying. men are the biggest. Because yesterday I heard the whole stream. Yeah, it was bashing women and whatnot. But the point I was leading up to is men need to fix up more than women.
Bashing women? Would you say bashing women though, man? Come on.
Not you directly, but I heard some comments and some people saying, "Oh, Naksha Mutewa." We can go back and forth all day long. But the point I'm making is, we were complaining more about feminism. Has it taken over our community? Has taken over our women? The point, the men are more to blame, in my opinion, because men are not really, most of them are in prison. I'm talking about the UK. I'm not talking about anywhere else. UK and the like more. There's good men out there. Don't get me wrong, but majority of the young people coming up, the younger generation,
Facts, man. They're being influenced by the media, fam. That's what it is. You know what I mean? There's no more Somali culture, fam. It's Galo culture.
Let's call it what it is, yeah? Like I said to you, radio halay tolo ku stay part of your show, yeah? And yeah, you were grilling women too much, yeah? What you failed to mention in there is what is known as the gender war. Yeah? They've been told to compete. Instead of working together as partners, and Islam said you're created as partners, alright? Yeah?
Say that again?
There is something going on known as a gender war.
I know
It's
that.
part of capitalism and democracy and divide and conquer, etc., etc. These people that Thomas Jefferson, relates to. Yeah.
That guy comes as a troll, man. Get that car.
Bro, how am I troll, bro? Like, enough on a serious note. Why are you telling people, they're not manly, they're not this, they're not that, bro?
I think I made my point, man. Stop changing subject.
Anyway, really, get back to it, yeah? This situation that you're discussing is called the gender war. And I need you guys to wake up to it. All the Somalis need to wake up to it. Yeah. So discuss it. And you're right to discuss it. From high school, you get it? They're told to compete. You understand? Yeah? Where they should be working as partners. Even in marriage, they're still competing. And the end goal is, this dunya. They've been taught and raised, They've been taught and raised by society to chase this dunya. Depression why they don't even want this dunya, ragani. You get me? Because dunya always so arkan, And when they see to the pit of the dunya then, and they realize in their heart they're Muslims, but they don't want this world. Do you understand? Yeah? So depression I could because we're mental health issues due to these effects that are being caused by third parties, your macro and micro environments, even including the sun, the lack of sun in the UK, vitamin D that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is what I was trying to say, though. You know what I mean? I completely understand what the gender war and stuff, but we have to understand the origin of this, even besides society itself, because it is not normal. This is what I was trying to get. It's not normal for our female counterparts to be going out and airing out the dirty laundry within social media in front of galos. It shows vulnerability and weakness. And not to mention, I think, because even like if you look at the community, right, there's a lot of issues that are at hand, but the issues that are at hand with young males are easily more identifiable and can easily be managed and fixed. You know what I mean? It's not that hard. You know what I mean? Because their problem is something that happens to a lot of disenfranchised youth that are from refugee communities and countries. You know what I'm saying? For the female counterpart, for example, I think even between going back, actually, let me just backstep. If you look at the male and the Somali male, Somali female, it's a clash between ideologies, right? Some men are Salafist, religious extremists. Some are highly conservative in values and belief. And the female for herself, she's more liberal, open-minded. You know what I mean? What kind of Muslim woman supports LGBT and defends Somali homosexuals? You don't have to attack them, but you're not going to defend them. You're not going to co-sign them. You have to let them fend for themselves. You know what I mean? That's not part of our culture. We can't have these people identify as Somali.
Radio. It's like that brother was saying earlier on. How dare you, cast that first stone when you have sin yourself, bro? You get it? Okay, you yourself are not perfect, So you're talking about these people. Hold on.
Yeah.
So you're talking about these people here, and that's what this gender war is about. They want us to do this, Walalo. They want us to do this. But you're right in saying, in the sense where the problem with the lads, and the problem with the lasses is a little bit more complicated than with the lads. But both of them, inshallah, and it will be resolved.
Okay, what I was trying to say though, because before you cut me off, I was trying to say though specifically that, right? When it comes to certain Like, you see, like when it comes to, I'm looking at this more out of the community building of two genders supporting each other to become successful. There's too many men and certain women that are policing people's activities and behavior patterns. You know what I'm trying to say? There's chink in our community's armor that a lot of communities are coming and exploiting us. It is easy to exploit us. You know what I mean? We're putting our dirty laundry outside on these social media websites, and we're not helping each other to become better or bigging each other up. You know, at the end of the day, what I was saying yesterday has 100% is valid. Like I said, we can easily criticize them. Let me finish. We can easily criticize the males for their shortcomings, which I'm all for. That's cool. But why can't we talk about the females with their low
That's
self-esteem?
it. That's all I was saying. Yeah.
And the garbage personality type of lifestyle. She could do this or she could do that. No, you can't. You're gonna get judged. You're
You
going
sound
to get
hurt. Hey,
judged.
nigga, that really, nigga, that,
It's
nigga, that,
normal.
nigga, that really.
I'm
You
not.
sound hurt, fam. Inantu waa inuu waqolama inantu ku dhaawacday.
Oh my lord, man! Come on, it's not even
I'm
about
serious,
that.
fam. You sound hurt there. Calm it down, cuz. What are you going in on my sisters, fam? But listen, what are the causes of this, though? What are the causes of
We
this?
have to acknowledge their issues too. They have issues too. We have to acknowledge them. It is not you'll never see me or any other man come out and type in some negative shit. A man speaking ill about women on like, oh, women are this, women are that, online and spreading this. It's bad. I'm not speaking ill. I'm showing you their issues within them that's going. It's not just Somali women. It's a lot of women in general. A lot of women, especially from immigrant Muslim backgrounds. You know what I mean? You can see this with the mates that they pick, with the way how they move, the way how they act, how they're easily accessible. The fact that certain women from certain cultures will embarrass themselves and say, I will quote unquote never associate or date myself with someone from my say opposite sex of my culture, even if you don't fuck with these people, and saying it out loud shows your low self-esteem. If a man says that, automatically he looks like a loser. If a woman says that, it's preference. This is the issue that was going on. A lot of these things, we have to look at things the same way. You know, like what I was talking about yesterday, is that a lot of these, going back again, even with feminism, a lot of these women want to act as if they can do whatever they want with no consequences in the future. There might not be consequences with the law, but there is consequences with your actions, with how the community and how people perceive you. You're not gonna change us to become liberals and accepting of Gallo cultures and Gallo way of life to do it. What's next? You're gonna bring this. You're gonna bring this back to our homeland. You know what I mean? We need to have conservative views and values. You know, the only thing we need to do as Somalis is modernize, get with the times. But doesn't mean we have to be liberal. Doesn't mean we have to adopt Gallo. Look at the Adans. They showed you. They showed you what happens when you adopt too much shit. My last statement. This is gonna sound very sexist. This is what Winston Churchill said. He said, if you give women suffrage, you're going to allow everything under the sun and light to have the same type of movements. Look at today. Look at today now. Transgender, homosexuals, cancel culture. All of these things now because of this one movement. Rather just letting women work, having the right to education, having the right to certain equal, like certain things that men could do, rather than to put them on a pedestal and push them to say that you're better than men, you can do whatever men could do and do this, and now leaving them on the light where they think they could do whatever they want. In reality, they can't. That's why looking now today, the whole gender war has ignited. No matter what it is, every day it's a man's problem. If one man commits to act, the whole gender gets it. But if a woman commits to act, we can't do that. You know what I mean? No, not all girls are hoes, but all men are rapists. That's what kind of generation we're living in now. So
bro, you are just fear mongering, bro. I just gotta go. On a serious note, you linked with women having freedom, right, to transgender. How did you link that?
But go speak, man. What do you mean? How did I link that, bro?
I'm asking, how did you link those two,
bro? Like, what do you mean? Can you talk? Tell me, what do you think then? Reform.
No, I'm telling you, how did you link those two? No, these things.
White man as a picture.
No, it doesn't matter what having picture as, right? You have R as a picture. But anyways, I'm asking, how did you link with the suffrage movement to homosexual to transgender? Like, how did you link those things?
Meaning, you see, there's ways to go about things that happen. Like, you can look at China. It's a very modern, very progressive society. There's not a huge amount of a radical feminist movement happening, homosexual movement happening, a bunch of men trying to change their sexuality, going to getting surgery to change their penis to vaginas. These are horrifying things that are happening in society, which are decentralizing. The only issue we have as Somalis is trickling down within our community in the West. But it's not.
But how you still linked it though? I'm still confused, bro. How did you link and say, you know what, their women got free and they got
I'm saying that's what he said, and I believe in that statement. That's what it
but
says.
How did you link those two?
Meaning that these type of issues have to be handled accordingly. This is what's happening right now. society, especially where I'm from in Canada, a lot of men are being effeminated and emasculated the way how it is. Society is making men
can we take a step further and say
see, society basically is creating men like you, soft,
men like me?
I'm being serious. That's what it is. I'm not attacking women. You can do whatever you want. I'm saying. I'm just saying why is this whole movement of females attacking men becoming a personality trait? You know, they're not rationalizing their ideology. It's emotionalized, sensationalized, feminist movement. You know what I mean? Do what you want to do.
Do you think women suffer under the patriarchy? Do you think that's a thing?
No, in the West, women do not suffer in the West. No, not at all.
women don't suffer under the patriarchy. They don't. What about back home?
What country are you talking about? What country are you talking
Yeah,
about?
but really,
Name a
have you
country.
asked yourself what communities are?
Pardon me, Mr. Lover?
Go ahead, bro.
No, I'm just saying, have you asked yourself what communities are impacted by this? Because, like you said, it's mainly Western communities, and then again, majority of the time when you look at social media, it's usually like black community, like black women complaining about black men. You never hear Asians or etc. I mean, you get the one odd, person here and there, but that's about it, really.
Yeah, but if you look at it,
doesn't that show you it's more of a, you could call it a race thing or less cultured people, etc., etc. So someone could even go on the path and say, oh, they're just trying to be like these black people that you see here and there, here and there.
Yeah. But the difference is within the African community have much more of a complex issue that's been internalized for generations. You know what I mean? So they're in a different situation. But as far when it comes, let's say for Somalis, they're a relatively new community that are absorbing foreign ideologies and foreign concepts within themselves and using it to divide each other. They're not trying to understand each other. They're not trying to create a dialogue.
I'm dead ass still like confused, bro. It's not that I don't think logical or anything. No, because like those things don't even have factors within each other. Women are free, therefore there's more gays.
That's facts.
How?
Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson. Murun kawaka shasama.
No more get like bro. Okay, how about okay, the blacks got free, there's more gays now. You see, you're correlating things that
delusional. You're delusional. You don't see
correlating things that
Thomas Jefferson. Wallah, you sound so conditioned right now. You sound so conditioned.
How conditioned, bro? How conditioned? How so, bro?
So conditioned in a shambol. What's so Mario kare?
No, I need to go bro. He's linking things my whole night. He's letting things happen, bro. He said women got free there.
Listen. I thought you could see this. Or mama who lived it.
No, like
right now, hold on. Manta, so vice president, shut up. Hold on, bro. Vice President Manta som umaha and Gabin Medo Escadala, Marenga so vice president umaha. Yeah, Nanta see transgender rights here and all that bullshit is all that. And all that bullshit, all of that bollocks, bro. And she wants to be the next president. Do you understand? Tumar kama logu tolub galin leadership certain things malogu tolub galin. That is where I draw the line.
These issues started way Mfante. How Barack Obama is the one who legalized, same-sex marriage. It's not a new phenomenon, and that was a black president under
That was a
Mfante.
phenomenon. That was his political goal.
That's not, but still though, is you saying you link
how powerful gays are, especially in America.
Bro, respect the gays, bro. Respect the gays. Free the gays.
I have my opinion. I don't have. What do you mean,
bro? I think you delusional, bro.
Thomas Jefferson. Are you Muslim? Are you Muslim?
The only delusional person is you, Thomas.
Yeah.
The only delusional person is you.
Hold on. Let me see if I can understand this, brother. Brother, you're Somali, right?
Yeah.
Guys, I think, you know what, to make this fair, we need to have a couple of females, at least one female in the panel. Because it's just guys talking about women. No women in this place.
No, you know this Thomas Jefferson guy. We know this guy, man. He's a regular. He's
Somali.
What you call a typical Somali. Like you don't believe in Somalia. You don't care about Somalia. Really, what think you know? Stay in Europe. Fuck your snow bunnies and relax. He's very liberal. Like he's very liberal. He's no waste man, bro. هدور هبينimada dad naagu gashta maxaa ka naqana ninkan the way he talks he said he's not a man so I wouldn't be surprised.
Him, fam. They tell him how to think and everything. This man is moving. This is a Somali liberal male. This is what it is.
All right. Really,
he's not even a male.
Going back on topic. Seriously, yeah. I'm thinking to myself, we need to discuss solutions for this, because this has been a long time coming.
That's my point. How are you going to discuss solution when the opposite sex ain't here? Like, there's no female age.
Listen, Mr.
They're
Lover,
in the
Lover,
chat.
Lover. Hello. Sorry, guys. Mr. Lover, Lover, how can't though? Whoever's here talking, let's talk.
Yeah,
Whether it's
we can
females
do
or
what we
not.
can.
That's the
Listen,
freedom
we
of
do
Oh,
what we
listen,
can.
can I
They're
can I
more
say
than welcome.
something? Can I say something, Mr. Lover, Lover?
Yeah, go
Whoever
for it,
the link
Lover.
is in the link's in the chat. Whoever jumps on, express your opinion, whether it's male or female. The topic rolls on, you know them ones. That's how it rolls. If they want to come on, there's a bunch of them. If they want to come on, they could come on. If they're not, shake the grad how to all. So carry on, lads.
I hear
So
a
AB, you were
solution
saying
here.
this was solutions coming. Do you want to go for it?
Yeah,
Solution.
I hear a solution. I hear a solution in the comments there. The solution is strong fathers. Well, that's so true.
That's so true, man.
rag Islam ku dhaqmayo oo salaada subax u kacayo caruurtoodii iyo xaaskooga arkayso inay kacayaano yeah bro, that guy's committed blood. Ninkan waa nin la dabageli karayo, ma fahantay? You get it?
صح.
But the problem in the West is is the kids are growing up without both the parents, brother. You get it?
So is there an attack on the male?
That's
like
what the
AB
gender
said
war.
earlier,
He said,
like AB said earlier, it was about another culture can move it aside. Other cultures backwards, man. شاد بالعنيا مرفش بلا فرسنيا شاح بالعبي رقي وفرسنة رقي بالضمن نقضي أو شكرا بي شاح شقنا مرة بان. That's some of that. Well, that's a big problem, man, in our community. I don't want to work this job. I don't want. They're very selective.
You said the Makhayat culture. You said the Makhayat culture.
That's part of the divide and conquer. That's part of the divide and conquer. Makhayat culture, yeah.
The Makhayat culture. No, but you see it, though. How many times do you see it? Yeah, or they wearing a suit? You don't know why he's wearing a suit. Suit will be He's staying in the Makhayat. Makhayat, you will want to.
واحد لقيت السود يا شاحة ويصبح أنا قشالي.
So look, there's a sister that said there's part 2, yeah. There's 2 sisters right here. Why don't you guys come on, like the lads are saying, and express your opinions? G Marley's in the chat. You hear me? So I don't know.
Khalido, she said, Mahmoud, I don't know why he's even married, but my wife understands.
I'm going to sleep. I'm doing this. But they got hella time to type. But anyway, listen, let's carry on the conversation.
There's one thing I wanted to point out, Khalid. Yeah, you know, you say the Mugahi culture, yeah, or the other Sudirka. I remember, bro, like Halston, man used to wear certain man used to wear 5-star suits, bro, yeah, just to come and chew. Do you get it? And I realized, well, bro, Hugo Boss, brother, Hugo Boss, brother. I say, oh, yeah, brother, yeah. And you're coming out to chew. I'm thinking to myself, okay, you get it? It's clearly a problem. It's an illness.
Big one.
I believe it's something known as disassociation. It's called disassociation, yeah, and it's linked to trauma. You have to remember, us Somalis, through generations, our great grandfathers went through trauma, let alone us and our grandfathers and our fathers. Yeah, every generation trauma they saw, and it has affected every generation in a different way because every generation has been to different places. Like our fathers might have been to the Middle East to work, where we're in the West working. Yeah. So the disassociation affects people in different ways. Yeah. Put that with the shaitan. Yeah. They were like, it's a struggle. Do you get it? So Islam's the only solution, really.
Bro, the solution. Can I give my solution?
Go ahead, my bro.
Thank you, appreciate it, bro. First of all, I am. Some people call me beta and that, bro.
No, carry on. Express your point of view, brother.
But yo, just don't cuss me. You know, I'm kind of sensitive. But anyways, really.
I love you. Carry on.
But anyways, on a serious note, the real problem is not feminism in the Somali community, right? It's identity politics. Let's be honest with each other, right? This whole grouping thing, that's the thing. Somali people put themselves in groups. Oh, I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm Kabir, I'm that. You know, everyone's identified with certain fente, and that's the issue. And we need to get over that. You know, we need to come as a collective. But going on the women issue, at the end of the day, I feel like Somali should have a woman president, women leaders. We need to do better, you know, give Somali women more opportunities, you know, you know, and in the Somali community, women, like, I feel their pain. I was on a Reddit called Somali Halima Spot, and I read it. This their moms hitting them, you know, while Libya, misogyny, internalized misogyny, while even, yeah, bro, you know, they matter, bro. We need to fight for Somali when they talk, you know. They don't have expression. So when they come to the West, they just having that teenage angst. That's what they're doing. They fighting the system. So free the Kabdo. I wish there was more free, liberal Somali women. They are the future. They are today. and free them, bro. Thank you.
Say, free the sisters.
What was the point of that, bro? What's wrong with this
Nah,
man?
let the man speak. Let the man speak. Let the man speak. Let the man speak. Let the man speak, man. I'm done.
Free the homies.
Well, like,
Ali, what you on?
Thomas Jefferson surprises me, you know. Every time he comes on, he surprises me because he's the same guy. He don't care about Somali politics back home.
Yeah, exactly.
But still, he comes again and again, yeah, to try to discuss these things with us. After he's the one who tells us, don't involve yourself. Capital نقطة. So this is he's very
but that doesn't mean.
controversial.
But that doesn't mean. Yeah, but that doesn't mean he can't love a woman. Our sisters.
No,
man, come on.
no, أرجع لهذا. That's ما decent. Like he's a bit. I don't know. It's confusion, man. But he's a good guy, man. Well, I've got nothing against him. I don't know. Kadena, since you're sensitive. I'm glad we're not check.
I might cry later, bro. I'm a sensitive, Somali Western liberal, you feel me? I watch anime, bro, and I listen to rock music. You feel me?
You know, don't worry, man.
But on a serious note, my fan, like what I mean, right, back home and stuff like that. At the end of the day, right, I still have a right to worry about, the Somali women. That's what I care about. Somali women.
Of course.
Somali women, Mokta, they've been put down, they've been traumatized. I feel like at the end of the day, right? Imagine being Somali is already hard. Imagine being immigrant. Imagine being a woman in a third world country from third world ideologies. Do you guys not feel for them sometimes, bro? These women are repressed. They can't say what they want to say. So when they get at a certain age, in fact, they start rebelling. It's a phase. They're just going through a phase. So let the girls go through the phase. That's it. Let them go through the phase.
We say let the sisters breathe.
Yeah, let the sisters breathe, my nigga. Let the sisters, dye their hair and fucking wear skinny pants, bro, and go on. Let them be free, bro. And I love, at the end of the day, bro. Any gabra in the live stream, come talk to me. I'm willing to listen to women's problems. I listen. I listen. Follow me. I follow you back. And I want to listen to your problems, so we can solve the misogyny together. That's what I'm an ally. I'm an ally, bro.
He's an ally,
bro.
Come on. Girls, you can come on. This guy TJ, you're getting.
I hope you get laid out.
Wariya, Thomas Jefferson, diinta Islam,
I'm trying to find my future wife
diinta
on this
Islam,
planet.
Afrika uga saye, diinta Islam kusoo noqo, Afrika guurso.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, Fury, I'm about to find my. You know why I come on this platform, but I'm trying to find my future wife. In fact, if she can type in the stream, she can type in my DMs. You feel me? That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, inshallah, one day is one day. انت ايد دعيه
قارن فاتي
كنت عين خلينا كنت عين يا الهي ونقا خير حاسب ونعكسنا سيو ينفي عن واسطرا واولاد في عن ورير في عن كيف
او feminist
واحد دون feminist ليبر واحد هي
I see the problem.
Yes. What did AB say? I see the problem. My lord.
Yeah, man. We get the issue, man. We get the issue. You know what I mean? Inshallah, we'll fix it soon, man. We'll fix it soon.
What's the issue? What is the issue?
I mean, like it's like TJ said. You know what I mean? It's like I guess like like the policing of women and all that shit. You know what I mean? It's part of the.
Yeah, no, I see the problem. I see the problem with Somali. The Somali wala.
It's like lack of education. And once people get educated,
understanding.
Yo, AB, who you talking to? I think you need. Yo, AB, you need to come out and come back in.
No, but it's a lack of education, brother. It's a lack of education for brothers and sisters. It's like, here's the problem, yeah.
We can't hear you.
His connection's gone, man. His connection's doing that crazy thing.
I think it's the education, to be honest. The more educated people get, the more educated men and women get, the more understanding and more they come. Because there's a big disconnect, you know what I mean? I don't think liberalism is the solution, you know what I mean? Maybe certain liberal aspects, but not that whole ideology is dead to Somalis. Hell no, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to turn my country to Denmark and not that type of shit. I'm trying to I want my country to be like.
Bro, Denmark's still better than your country, with all due respect, bro. Come on.
You didn't let me finish, you fool. I said I'd rather be like Japan. That's what he said. Don't cut me off, and you understand what I'm trying to say.
I apologize, bro. That's toxic masculinity. I apologize, bro. I'm sorry.
There's no such thing as toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity. I'm sorry, bro.
I'm sorry, bro.
I'm sorry, bro.
There's no such thing as toxic masculinity.
I'm
It's
sorry,
you know, it's
bro.
called machoism. It's called that was no macho at all. Don't worry. You know what I mean? That was just you know, it was whatever. Fam.
I'm
Let's
sorry,
go back to the topic though. Let's go back to the topic. So, do you guys really think that feminism really destroys femininity, or do they correlate?
I think feminism plays it's detrimental. Extreme feminism is detrimental to femininity. Definitely, I agree with that.
Yeah, but what's the thing that makes feminism so like? Because I was reading something too, and a woman said a great point. Like a lot of men that are anti-feminist are mostly guys that I think like like working class men, and like what else was there? I forgot exactly what it was. It was something else, but like basically it does affect a lot of working class type men and men that are less educated. Like they don't do post-secondary education because universities across the West have become very feminized and very liberal. They're all biased. They're all far less biased. You can't write an essay about so like let's say if you're talking about an essay about something that happened in the past in colonialism, right? And you have to say that white people did good for the colonies that they had. Some professors might get offended because a lot of women influence the spaces in university, which changes the dynamic and and makes it very biased when it comes to the institutions that are at play and the situations that go on over there. It's not a good place no more. You know what I mean? Universities were a place where people could debate about ideas and understand each other. Now it's like if you don't think like if you're not part of the status quo, you're weak. Even in Canada, like 7 years ago, Jordan Peterson, God is famous. He refused to a bill that would allow women and men, gay men, to identify as anything they wanted to, aka the they and them. That's what you find. Can you believe some people want to put the she and her on their bios? I think you can't tell the women. Like what's going on? If you see a man with he and him, that's wild.
Then who do you blame then, Ridley? Who do you blame? Is this a super boogeyman agenda, or is it just the way society is moving?
It's the way society is moving. Well, we got the short end of the stick as a generation. You know what I mean? We got the short end of the stick. Like everything is being damaged because the issue is not feminism. It's the issue
Hold
is
on, really?
how do we like you can't force me to think like you. I don't care if you're liberal and this and that. My whole argument is to help my community and to try to influence my community and the people that are like me and who want to join me. But as far as society itself, I could give a shit. I don't mind Western society disintegrating. That's you know what I mean. I don't mind. I don't really care. That's a white man problem. You know what I mean? He's the one that's getting mad. He's the one that's nervous. The man in the UK, the man in America. A bunch of the feminism, gay, all of that. That shit's not affecting my country. Alhamdulillah, you know what I mean? My people.
No, but slowly, say if it is, say if it's affecting these countries. Don't these countries have a domino effect?
It could indirectly, though.
I like, come on, Mr.
I mean, you can take it back with the Obama agenda. You can take it back with the Obama agenda where he's trying to introduce LGBT stuff in Africa. Like when that Ugandan president made a big old.
Africans are anti-gay. You will never Africans will never allow gay. It will never happen.
No, I understand, but what I'm trying to say is they don't have the economical power. So Western countries may
how
say,
you don't have
okay,
a gay agenda. Look at Look what happened with Nigeria. Joe Biden said we're gonna stop. I forgot he said something. We're gonna stop associating with you or put sanctions on you if you don't acknowledge gay rights in your country. I'm like f that. I don't know what happened after, but I know for sure Nigeria said f that. You don't want gays in your country. It's disgusting. It's useless. It's you know what I mean? It goes against biology. You know what I mean? The gays is a culture that only exists amongst Adans and certain other groups in the world. It doesn't exist amongst Africans. It was never part of our ideology. We never had that.
what I'm trying to say, bro, is maybe due to the economical crisis in a lot of African countries, they may be forced to take that or accept that for that reason alone, if not any other reason. So you can't really say the West, whatever happens in the West won't affect me unless you are in a position of power. You see what I mean? Beggars can't be choosers. Unfortunately, that's the reality in the African continent. A lot of countries are in debt. So these Western countries pry on that.
I mean,
so they can pass any of these policies, same-sex marriages, blah blah blah, to all these countries.
But like going back to the topic, like I was saying before, right? Like I personally don't see feminism as an issue. It is what it is. The big issue is trying to shove it down people's throats. Like I live in Canada. Everywhere I go, there's these movements that are enforcing society to adhere to this. You're not allowed to speak and act the same way who you are. You know what I mean? They're enforcing LG. Like imagine supporting LGBT when there's people that don't have food or water. Like which one is more of a priority? A man that wants to stick his dick in another man's asshole, which he can do in private, or a person that needs water and food. You know what I'm trying to say? It's retarded.
Thank you, really. Well, really, you're so right, Walalo. Yeah, normal human beings, yeah, have less rights than these transgender and then gay and then eating and all of these people. Yeah, bruv, normal people have less rights. These motherfuckers have a whole month called Pride.
No, do you know what the funny thing is? Yeah, I was telling everyone yesterday. Maybe it's not even. I had a debate with one of them the other day, innit, in Speaker's Corner about last week, innit.
Yeah.
And this transgender person was like, "Oh, I want to be accepted. I want to be accepted." I'm like, bro, you didn't even accept yourself how you were created. How do you want society to accept you? I like AB.
Exactly.
You changed yours. Yeah, so what do you want society to do with you then? Because you're not a woman. The whole place by you. I'm like in Speaker's Corner. I'm like, nah, man, you're not a woman. No matter what you say, no matter what you wear, no matter what you think.
Well, you know what it is, yeah. They want us out of their country, and I believe they will take this over to our countries. Yeah, really, you need to be shit scared, bruv. You see, man, like J Hus like a shikini malaha. Ghana, again. Ghana, yeah, Nigeria, all these West African countries, yeah, we could teach everyone, yeah. By the time that woman comes in now, that woman from the in America, the vice president, by the time she comes in, watch.
What about South Africa? I swear South Africa legalized it.
I wouldn't be surprised because
South Africa was the first African nation to legalize this now, the madness.
Do you know that woman who's an actress from South Africa? You know that blonde one that's in the Kristen Dior advert?
What's her Charles Fawn? What's her? Yeah, I think I know.
I can't remember, but that blonde lady, yeah, you know what she does, bro? She's got a little boy. I think that she's turned into a girl, or is it a girl that's turned into a boy? Like, bruv. Get it? And that's legal in South Africa and it's legal in America.
Yeah. But she changed the kid's fucking hormone from early.
Like basically, apartheid wasn't enough for the black people. I want to enslave a little black child and change his gender. I want to do a fucking experiment on it.
Yeah, but what do you expect if black people themselves let? No, but if black people themselves let these people get away with it, isn't it crazy?
They've only got away with it because it's been over generations. Slowly, they get diluting their culture. Remember, our culture's now diluted. A lot of Somalis believe,
but it's coming in. It's coming in. No, but our culture is coming, brother. We got fucking. It's coming in. Shall I tell you what? We got some pussies like what's his name? What's that fucking prick's name? Blue Makeup. You heard of that motherfucker?
Blue Makeup?
Some pussy or Somali guy. Yeah, he's out there on social media doing all of this madness.
Factual. A lot of
he's in Scandinavia. I don't know where the fuck. No, but I'm saying all over social. And he's arguing with Somali women. And then who's endorsing him? Somali women. DJ Zubair. You know DJ Zubair. Everyone knows DJ Zubair, isn't it? Yeah, DJ Zubair is on live. I'm like, DJ Zubair, you've got a platform in Thailand, yeah, and you're bringing people like this. So how community go check out? And there's people endorsing this. Come on.
Yeah, because you know what it is? The Western society is feminizing the Somali men to that whole extent. And plus, like people said, with a lot of Somali society, we have to accept with the lack of strong male figures, we're a very feminized society. Too much women are around Somali males, which is creating these gays. This is what's happening, man. It's feminizing them a lot. There's not
really. What I'm trying to say to you is because, like the solution to it, look, that's the problem, yeah? But the solution to this, is for us to go back to our culture because our culture.
No, but what can we do to our sisters though? Our sisters that are pushing this, like this brother's, this person said, it's female youth that's going to be pushing this agenda, and I see it. There's one girl in Speaker's Corner. You can see the video of her. But two Somali hijab and she's and everyone's like, "Why are you wearing a hijab? The girl felt like didn't she realize there's a camera on her, innit? She felt like a doqan. Everyone's like, Muslim man ahayn. And I'm thinking to myself, what's wrong with you? And then in the Somali, then wallah, you have to take this out, yeah. And the other when it comes to Somali guy, in the other like I'm like, wallah, in the middle of central London, one of the most famous places to debate. And then everyone's just like, no, hi, how blani. And it's all over social as well, innit? Everyone's just laughing at this person. I'm like,
It's not her
what is
fault.
wrong
It's not
with
her
you?
fault. It's not her
It is her
fault.
fault.
Well, I tell you why. Well, her culture is to chew chad and chop off little girls' clitoris, fam. Do you get it? That's what she's
Yeah.
being shown as her culture. So what I'm saying is we
Mhm.
should go back and resolve our culture. Once we resolve our culture, we can resolve these issues. These issues would be extinct if our culture was corrected. But instead, we're chewing green cocaine and calling it part of our culture and saying it's okay. It's okay to be high on drugs. Do you know what I mean? It's okay to be feeling euphoric and, do you know what I mean? To potentially beat your wife, talk to your wife in a certain way, be a certain way. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's too many things, yeah, that's gone wrong in the Somali culture. That's why we're kids again, doesn't candy, because it doesn't kill
Yeah.
Bro, like I said, man, look at this. Wallah, I say this all the time. Once our Ayeyos, our Wowos, and Hoyos, whether they leave the West or die, Somali culture is done. There'll be no one passing on language. Even right now, some people don't even have heritage or culture. There are no cultural centers.
Really. What if I told you Somali culture's already done, fam? They got us divided into 5 or 6 different people. They got Somali people speaking French, fam. Listen, they got Somali people speaking French from birth, and they made them believe that it's their mother tongue. Somali culture's dead, Walalo. Wake up.
That's what I'm trying to say. Because the thing is with a lot of these young Somali females, 90% of them, and I'm being nice with the statistic, I think it's more, especially depending on what diaspora you're in, majority of them they're not just liberals, they're far leftists. They're like the female, they're like the opposite extreme of what Trump is. Meaning they support every and any struggle more than their own. To them, so I was arguing with Somali people saying, then who cares about Somalia? Their issue is tribalism. They're ruining their own country. Palestine are oppressed people. No. So you telling me you gonna fight for Palestine if they give you an AK-47 over your country?
I will lie right now. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. See, you know, I'm telling you the truth here. Any of these brothers and sisters, I'll tell you the truth here. You know the polyester dress. These ones khamisa, you know this polyester. I want to be Arab and khamis bang, and I think I'm holier than anyone. They can't really talk to me right now. I've been eating them in the park all day. I'll be like, yo, so Somali man, even there's a lot of Arabs, you know, their fellows, so they're like, how come you're not speaking for your people? So these ones, I don't really consider them as, you know, part of the community as well. I'm gonna call all of them out as well.
Because
the thing is,
you think to a Somali
is this over the Israel-Palestine thing?
No, it's just in general. It's just in general. There's a lot of our communities right now, yeah. Some fake shit and you're telling them, yo, you're like, bro, what's going on with this group? What's going on with this group? So that is another problem as well. But the online thing we're talking about, and like sister said, unfortunately, she smashed it as well. She goes, it's true. I'm finding okay, when do Habla talk about this? Or do you think Habla are scared to? I think one thing, Habla are scared to G-check each other. That's one thing. That's one thing. Not free or fucking. That's one thing I've seen in the Somali community. I have not seen one sister come out and call out sisters left, right, and center and say, no, what are you lot doing? Slay Bro, or is that their job? Is this? No, even the back, man. It's like, okay, I don't even know, man. Because this is where I wanted to speak about. I never see it's like no one can speak to this individual. Because I don't know whether she's a female or I don't know whether no, it's not even that. Yeah.
I told you our culture is distorted in it, yeah. So what they do not do is they do not, as you said, G-check them, yeah. The mother, the father, nobody would G-check them. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So
what I hate is I've seen this as well. I've seen this it's the Ode and what's it called? The Ode Allah Inanta, and then you think to yourself, okay, Inanta, and then later on you think to yourself, where did you get oppressed? Because when I'm seeing Allah Habla Somali, I see them and you know them ones.
Yeah.
A lot of
them are free, like you're free. You ain't got your cousins chasing after you on road telling you don't do this, don't do that.
But then again, I'm oppressed. I'm impressed. I would dive it's the Somali backwards culture. But what is this backwards culture that and then the other day, I was having a debate with a couple of sisters. They kept telling me, the Arab culture, the Arab culture, the Arab culture. I'm like, okay, what is not Arab? Forget ab culture. Okay, we take away the ab culture. What do you want to do? We see them like, no, it's the ab. I'm like, okay, take away the ab culture. What is not ab to you? How many way with I'm saying? Because in front of their faces, every single one of them did not want to tell the other one what she doesn't find ab because Tankala is gonna judge her. And I'm like, so yeah, sisters, again, there's a couple of you on the chat right now. Yeah, if you guys want to come in and explain,
please,
is this true? Is there nagi, especially when they get over, like with me, like I said, over 26 and above right now, yeah, to about 35. I'm speaking to that age group in it, yeah, and a lot of them, I'm baffled with them in it, unhappy, miserable. And this is, I'm not talking about, you know what, yeah, you never ever see a nag they're happy. I'm talking about the majority of them, all miserable, all of this one, that one, and I'm thinking to myself, where did it become miserable? How could I?
Khalido, I tell you.
And I call this, you know what I call this, AB? I call this we're moaning. I see some girls we're moaning. Like, we're moaning. It's not even that. Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, you got everything you need, right? Okay, you tell me, guys. You tell me.
I have a feeling I might know, but I would like a sister to correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. But what happens is they like us, guys and girls, we grew up in the UK, yeah, and then we go into this false sense of girlfriend, boyfriend, you're in a relationship where we're never ever meant to experience this falsehood, yeah, until we're married, right? So, yeah, they think they're in love. Then they realize, you know what, you're not in love. No. Do you know what I mean? Shit goes sideways, yeah? They feel heartbroken. The guy feels heartbroken. Do you get it? And then that's what leads to that self-hate and feeling, you know.
For me, I don't think it's that. I think to myself, really, too. I think that's a subjective experience. I'm saying, as a collective of Dumaka, especially that age, you know, you got to look at this because one day I had one of the sisters speak to me, a young sister in it. Yeah, she's like, you know what, I ain't got no rug baby horudum says so how they last in it, yeah. So I don't really have no figures in my model. And then the amount she's telling me Dumaka saying, I'm like, one thing I told her, one thing you do in this world, yeah, do not listen to miserable women. And majority of miserable women are the ones killing God that way bad after because it's like the bold guy said. Women's jobs are to nurture, mother. You know, after a certain age, do you think that person becomes resentful? Guys and girls, that's the question I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cosmo said. Yeah, 100. Because she's not doing a unique role. Like walk off away.
What I was saying,
go ahead.
What I was saying is, okay? They start dating. They're dating for 2.5 years sometimes, 3 years sometimes, yeah? Go Musmatch, now you'll see it. Some of them will say, oh, I want to get married in 3 to 4 years. Then what do you want to do in that time? You want to be in a relationship, right? And then you break up to make up, you're all twisted mentally, yeah? So that's why you're angry, because you don't know who you are. My Muslim matai, my Gal matai, what's going on, you know?
Listening to this, he said it's single women keep single women because one guy told me, like, he's married, yeah, he's like, he told his wife, don't hang around with none of your single miserable women, especially past a certain age. You get where I'm coming from? What do you guys think of that?
That's facts.
Yes,
That's
Navarro accent. Yes, yeah. Can I say something about single women who are jealous of married women? They even like encourage the woman to divorce her husband, especially with this old age.
That was prevalent. That was prevalent. You know what? Yeah, we see when I was growing up here, there was a couple of Slamo that were known for that. Taking in it, yeah, because this filthy poison, but and it is when you start listening to it and you think to yourself, okay, a successful woman with alhamdulillah family, but you never hear from them. Like a woman that's settled, family there, man, you will never say, you get me? So what is it between that age group? What makes Hablaha go poisonous? What is it?
Because let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, my brothers. Yeah, but I don't know if other communities yet. But obviously, if she's 25 melahas, she's hit the wall. If she's past 25, she's hit the wall. For some communities, for some cultures, if you're 25, you hit the wall. If you hit past 25, you hit the wall. What do you lot think about that? This hitting the wall theory.
I don't think so, bro. Not at 25, maybe at 35, yeah, but not 25, bro. Yeah, like basically, look, the reason why they're unhappy,
think-
Khalid, I've kind of explained it indirectly. Because I've explained it indirectly, but I'm gonna go more direct. Yeah, they've lost their virginity. You get it? So they've lost a part of themselves. You get it? And they're no longer happy because they do not feel fulfilled. Well, I'll be like, and it's the same for the guys. And it's the same for the guys. We lose our virginity in a false sense of love. Yeah, and we feel so hurt by that we're not able to.
Yes, of course.
Did you say we lose our virginity?
Reality, well,
no, well, I know. Do you know what it is? It's the way you said. No, you should have added it. I think I cut you off too early, innit? Yeah, when you said
yeah,
we lose our virginity.
We lose our virginity as men and women. Yeah.
But the thing with virginity,
as what?
to be honest, the thing with virginity,
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with it. It's all about if you're gonna.
So what I'm saying is, what I'm saying with the virginity is, look, no, there's some. Of course there is. Of course there is. Look. Virginity, as a man and as a woman, yeah. Do you get it? What it actually does to you is you're giving a part of yourself away to somebody. Do you get it? And that person, if they ain't your life partner in the eyes of Allah, then there's gonna be something wrong with you. You need to.
But that don't really affect mandem though. I don't think that affects mandem.
It does. Well, it does.
I don't think it does.
Of course.
How does that affect a man, man? Come on, man. Every man here, I don't know who's a virgin on the panel right now, innit? Yeah. I'm gonna say this out loud here. I don't know who's a virgin is on the panel. Let me just add this a little bit. I don't know who's a virgin on this panel, yeah, but no male thinks like that. I don't think so. When it comes to shit, see, I was thinking to virginities and all of that. I don't think a male.
Virginity for
what I'm trying to say is,
for female.
what I'm trying.
Yeah, but did you ever get hand over like when you lost your virginity? Like, oh my god, I should never done it. Come on, what the hell's go on.
But the thing is,
yeah, why not? Don't be a gashay. You got to repent from that, cuz if you've done it in a manner that's not halal, don't be a gashay.
That's a man. What man thinks of that? I guarantee you. Any man that lost his virginity. Oh my god. La hawla wa la quwwata. Any man, you're telling me a man feels guilty for losing. I don't think I've never met a male that said I've never felt guilty losing my thing. I don't think that's a conversation.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, man. Wow, so happy.
You encourage it. You have to be a man in the West. You have to be fucking a lot of females. It's part of the culture in the West. For females, it's I don't depends what culture you're from.
Is that Islamically correct though?
Well, Ridley, let me ask a question. Ridley, have you heard of the bull, the black bull? Have you heard of the bull who impregnates all the cows? That's the alpha, the bull.
Oh, the bull. I thought you said ball. Then that got to me for a second. That's what
the bull, the cow. You know the bull that goes around impregnating several of the cows and that. That's in the cow world. That's an alpha. Yeah, that's how they would consider it in Western society.
Yeah, let me just say this quick.
And I'm not promoting that filth. It's haram and that, by the way.
Okay, but I don't know. But
sleeping around and shit.
This is the reality. This is the reality too, though. If for us young Gen Z millennials, the reality is most young generation, especially as we get older, more young people are going to be less and less inclined to be virgins, specifically females as well. The reality with virginity comes with you investing in that woman. If you're not gonna pay bride price and lose half of your assets in divorce, why the hell would you care if she's a virgin or not? It is, if you still want it, that's up to you. But if you're gonna pay a bride price and you're gonna lose half your shit, the least you can be, and you can get it, you be the first one. Why would you invest in a woman, pay a bride price, and lose half your shit in divorce? Probably to have another man have access to her for free or half price while you're paying for full price. Some people might think that's sexist, but that's the reality. It's the investment. It's just like a woman. Why would she give herself up or give her womb to a man who did not have any assets, resources, or wealth? It's a waste of time. It's an equivalent exchange. One has to offer the other. It's a simple exchange. Because the difference is we both can control those things. You know what I'm trying to say?
Why is G Marley saying this? This is embarrassing at this moment. This is just bashing someone. No, how is it? How is it?
No one's bashing Somali.
Oh my god! This is what I'm saying.
Yo.
No. Let me think that, man. You know, sometimes you know what? Sometimes you gotta let people talk like that, innit? Yeah, because at the end of the day, I think that's a shutdown tactic. Oh my god! Maybe the girl's having a reality check right now. She's looking at herself in the mirror and saying some of these characteristics that we're talking about. Maybe that you have it, Walolo. It ain't attractive. That's all the men are saying. These things ain't attractive no more. Go on, carry on, bro.
Yo, let's talk about this, man. Yo, Ridley, is this true? Wahanan Maklay in North America. I don't know about UK, but in America and Canada, there's been cases of teenage pregnancies, abortions, wahas, in Somali community, abortions in North America.
I'll be honest with you. I've never heard that.
Hiya,
but
though. I see where you're going with this.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked because at the end of the day,
And listen, I see where you're going with this, guys. Guys, this is a dangerous road. Wallah, it's a dangerous road. Listen, yeah. When a girl is having an abortion, guys, who is the person impregnating her? It's a man, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is a case here for men and women. Wallah, so you can't just say.
It is.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
You know what I mean?
Let me just say something. Let me just say something. Let me just say something here, sister. Why don't you two jump on and come with solutions? Like we said, yeah, we are men. We're just expressing what we see and what we don't like. This is ridiculous. There's a girl that's in the chat the whole time with us. You could come in and say, well, Ali, I will respect you. We'll give you the floor. There's another one that's crying over here saying, oh, my God, why don't you guys come in and we'll give you solutions? We can make solutions together. But this is a men's point of view on how we see it. And I think, again, that's another shutdown tactic, I think, basically. Well,
that is.
But carry on, lads.
No, this is what I wanted to say, though. This is what I wanted to say quickly.
We've touched a lot of nerves today.
Yeah.
Yo, Ridley.
We've cut veins, Khalid. We've cut veins, not nerves. We've cut veins.
I just want to say this. Let me just say this. AB was right. It is a man and a woman thing. But the issue is this, though. Most, what I've known, I can't speak in the UK, but in Tehran, most traditional Muslim men, or like African, some certain Asian men as well, like Afghan, Arab, what they will do is they will go smash women of other cultures, but leave their women to later to marry them. That's what it was. They don't usually commit the sins with their female counterparts. Only galos do that. What I've noticed, what I've heard. There is history here in Toronto where a lot of Somali women and men do have premarital sex with each other, but most of the time, a lot of Somali guys do that type of lifestyle when galo women. That's what I know. That's the difference. But if this was happening between our community, then the judgment would not be fair. It'd be quite stupid. When a man takes another woman's virginity from his community and then stigmatizes her ostracizes her and moves out of the dating pool to make her seem like she can't get married.
That's just hypocrisy, Ridley. That's hypocrisy, wallah. That's hypocrisy, wallah, man. Zina. I don't know why you're bringing ethnicity into this.
But that's how it is, though. That's how it works. I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm not saying it's not hypocrisy, but at the same time, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
No, but Ridley, can I tell you something?
But listen, can I say something? Listen. Rad, what Rad doesn't understand is up to this is a Somali platform, the one Somali only. Of course, what do you mean bring ethnicity into it? Sky on sometimes.
No, because this is what I was trying to say.
Really, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
I'm just giving you a reason. Can I give a reason why? Can I give a reason why, Ridley? Can I finish? Quickly. Ridley, the reason why Somali men probably screw outside their ethnicity is, come on, bro, I've never been in a relationship with a Somali girl. It's going to be an extremely awkward, and who knows, she could come from my tribe and she could expose me later on. This applies to the women. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why both genders avoid each other, just like in any other ethnicity.
In the UK, you guys have a huge dynamic and an issue over there, I feel, and have horrible gender relations between each other compared to Toronto and Minneapolis, where women and men interact on a daily and go out to the same spaces. That's the difference. You know what I mean? Like in the UK, I will expect that if a Somali girl were to have premarital sex, Ajnabi will be easier for her than her own Somali counterpart. That's what I think would be, because at the end of the day, let's call a spade a spade. These women play off as if they're religious and pious, which they do exist, but majority of them are out here living a hot girl summer, as they say it in this day and age.
Astaghfirullah.
Really, again, you're making assumptions. You're making assumptions again.
I know. Right. Let me just say my point. Right. Let me say my point, please. Yeah. Let me say my point, please, boys. Yeah. I just want to touch on what you said there, really. Really, in terms of what you said there, yeah, that they go to third-party ethnicities in order to do haram activities, yeah, I get that and I understand that. No, I get that and I understand that, and it actually comes from the olden times, whereby when you conquer a land, you're allowed to take slaves and concubines, etc., and I don't know what the rulings are, but yeah, it's all illegal anyway. Do you get it? And that's another distortion of our religion and our culture. It's another distortion. We shouldn't be in any relationships. So when you're saying, yeah, when Rad is saying, oh, I go in a relationship with someone else rather than a Somali, well, you shouldn't be in a relationship unless it's halal. Yeah, the relationship with Allah.
That's facts. That's fact. But I want to have an honest conversation and say that we cannot ignore the fact that Somalis are not are not exception of the rule. Our community is plagued with this stuff as well. Everything happens. It is what it is. Why? The thing is, people are confused in the West. The more traditional, conservative, and restrictive you are, specific with a female, the more likely that she will practice these type of behaviors. It is proven time and time again. The more liberal, like liberal in the sense that you're more loose with your daughter, like you don't police what she wears. You don't try to restrict her from going out having fun. Then she'll less likely to go behind your back and rebel and do these type of activities. It's been proven. I seen it in my own eyes when I was in high school. And a girl, her dad would always try to tell her to come home, try to have her on curfew, do a bunch of stuff, and she was moving like a hoe. Sorry for lack of a better term, that's the truth. She was.
But you know why? But really, do you know why? Because he ain't doing right himself. That household, something's gone wrong. Cause why is this child doing this? This child's acting out.
No, it was an Adan woman. It was a decent household from Marrakech. Her brother was normal. Everyone was normal. He was just.
Bro, there is measure. Look what I measure. وحياة كخلدن. هذا وح كخلدن يهين عروت وكخلدن أنا. ما فهمتي? So if there's something wrong in this household, yeah, I mean there's going to be something wrong with those kids. Does that make sense? These kids were raised in this household, yeah. When this girl or this guy is going out hoeing, and I say girl or guy, yeah, because we're hoes as well sometimes, yeah. So when these guys or girls go out hoeing, yeah, waxani walaal maxaa ka siiya marka hore, yeah, maxaa loogu soo koray iyagu maxay arkeen ma qantaa Soomaalideeni ana diinta si fiican ugu dhaqmayn, but yeah, they want to preach to us about religion. Do you get it? As Khalid was saying, these people with the long khamises, yeah, some people want to preach to you about religion, but when it comes to the reality of life, fam, yeah. Do you know what I mean? They're not acting upon the religion. Do you get it? And they want to use it in certain moments and times. They use it against you as well, you know? And then Arutu Shukola Yasa, wala. Arutu Shukola Yasa. Because why Chad they Unayan? Somali men are chewing Chad, yeah, but they're telling you they're Muslim. They're praying Salah, yeah, but they're intoxicated. Do you get it?
But I completely understand. I completely understand all that dynamic. But what I was trying to say in general, when it comes to this quote unquote virginity issue that females try to keep fighting, is that they make themselves to be as equal to men when it comes to this stuff, which is completely false. You know what I mean? It's been proven countless times that females have much more sexual partners, are much more sexually active, which is okay and it's normal. The issue I'm trying to say is that how are you going to compare a man that actually has to have a personality, actually has to have a charm, actually has to earn his way into a girl's panties, compared to someone, a girl that could just open her phone and take the first man that's on the list. That's how it's easy for them like that.
Not really, because no, you can't talk like that. Really, you can't talk like that. Really, you really can't talk like that. Really,
no one gives a shit about STDs in this day and age. Everyone doesn't care no more, bro. What do you mean? That's just how life is.
No. The reason why I mentioned that, Ridley, even back home, right? Yeah, this applies to any countries in Africa as well, right? Yeah, this is even though you never expect that back home in Somalia, because Dakan Ken is all about trust and that. Yeah. Now, if I ever get married, I'm gonna ask my wife to take a test, an STDs test, whatever, because nowadays
there's no problem with that now, man. And there's no problem.
I'm talking about the generation, because we don't talk about this, right? Even now I saw advertisement on the Somali channels advertising those test services now.
You do a full health check. You're better off doing a full health check.
There's been countless times in this generation where a lot of young Muslim couples, and Somali couples specifically, where they're getting married, and a lot of them have been having a sexual past in history, which is very dishonest. Even some females get uncomfortable when you ask them if they're a virgin or not, which is weird. It's a valid question to ask. You know what I mean? I'm paying a bride price. You know what I mean? I want to know. I won't hit it from the back. I need to know this. It's just that's all. You know.
And is she gonna tell you though? Is she gonna tell? Come on, man. How obvious? How?
I mean, that's true.
What's the bribe? Listen. Sorry. Really. What's the bride price?
Huh?
Really? What's the bride price? What's the bribe gonna take from height?
I mean, like the med.
That's not a bribe, cuz.
That is a bride price. That's the English word for it.
No, it's not, cuz it's called a dowry in English. If you want an English term, fam, that's a God-given right.
You know what? It's the same shit. It's the same shit, fam.
Yeah, and it comes. Listen, and it comes with rules and regulations, as all as Islam's God-given rights are. Do you get it? You can't call that bribery.
See that shit that you just said right there?
Listen. You know me?
Yes, okay, you must come through, must. Let us come through.
You hear me, yeah?
Yeah.
Look, to make this interesting, yeah, let's get one of the sisters bring them on the call.
She's right here.
All disagreeing
in the chat.
There is one. If is already coming the pitch. I respect ifs, but there's Aisha, there's her, there's Faye, there's G Molly just threw a tantrum.
Yeah, a lot of them are in the
Aisha made a very good point. She made a very good point. She made a
Come
very
on,
good
let the
point.
sister
She said
finish.
Somali men.
Yo, AB. There's one sister. She wants to talk. Let's not cut. Go ahead, If. The floor's all yours, sis.
I heard something that I didn't like. Someone on here was saying. Someone on here was saying that the bride price is for virginity or something, which is absolutely BS. If we're talking about marriage, it's not about virginity. It's literally a gift. She's getting a gift, and it's financial security for her later on in life. She can invest it and whatever, turn it into whatever she needs. Invest it into her business. That's what it is. It's not about open up your legs and let me see if you're a virgin or not. Okay.
No, that's not what it's about. It's not buying virginity. We know that. That's not what it is.
Why does not even need a dowry? Why does not even need a dowry? For example, in some cultures like the Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, they're called the Nagti Hissa. Like it's funny. Like, when 2021, why is meher even needed?
What?
If the man's going to provide for you for life?
Wow.
Meher
That's wow.
You're following the
Islam
detail
has
of
been-
Islam.
No, but listen, if I want to get married today, so it's a big risk for me, right? Yeah, if I'm earning good money, right? Yeah, halal money and that. Why am I going to spend 15 or 20,000 on my money?
وريا ياكو سي لعقتها. إلهي ياكو سي معها. إلهي رزقك سي سماها. Yeah. So how are you gonna disagree with
So
Ilahi?
what happens if let's talk about it? What happens if she's earning more money than me? Well, let's say she comes from she's well off, yeah, she's a doctor and that, yeah. Why? Okay. She's earning, let's say, more money than me. Has the gay so? Why, if she's earning more money than me, and she comes and she's educated than me, we both work. Why should I pay the dowry if she doesn't need my money?
No, look.
And you say financial security.
Look, the dowry could be
it's a lot of rubbish.
Listen, so the dowry. Listen. Okay, you know what? I don't even want to have a conversation with you. Well, I'm just gonna pause.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. So is there anything else you disagree with, the sister that just jumped on that we can have a conversation about? Because I saw a lot of you lot terrorize in the comments. You lot going back and forth with everybody.
Some ignorant person was talking about how it's unnatural to see so many women in our culture be single at the ages that they are, and I'm just like, you know what? Fuck the culture. Forget it. Like,
no, but
yeah.
Continue.
Like when it comes to the religion, it doesn't matter what age the woman that's married. It's not like, oh, you're too old now, you need to sit down.
No, sis. There's a thing where, as a woman, we all know there's a certain age group where, fertility-wise, your natural body-wise, you're clocking on at the end of the day, and a man is only gonna go for something younger than you. Really, truthfully, for a rich man right now, he doesn't want something that's past his age, where he's looking at 23-year-old, tight 23-year-old to 25-year-old. That's the. There is something.
The thing is,
But I don't
Go ahead,
agree with is.
The thing is, why it's shocking is it never used to be like this for Somalis, and I feel like Somalis are. It's a lot. It's like the black people. It's like black people. It's like the same similar culture where we used to always get married young. There's no. It's not really much point getting married older because.
No, there is.
Because it's declined, Mustafa. Because it's declined. Even in UK right now.
Yo, Rad, man, just mute up, Rad, for a little bit, man.
Hey,
please.
Hey.
Just mute up, man. Let people go on, Musa and Ifri, carry on.
Okay, because usually people get married for certain reasons. Okay, people get married for children. People get married for this and that. People get married for these reasons.
Companionship. Listen, companionship should be the first one. Completing each other, finding companionship should be the first thing that people look at.
Each other. We're not puzzles. What we do is obviously there's a part of all of us. We're all social people, yeah. We don't obviously people don't want to die by themselves, so people get married and whatnot. But people get married to start families. People get married to.
Thank you.
People get married for these reasons.
Thank you.
If you're getting
No,
older,
but Wallah, the
if you're getting
sister's
married
right.
at the age of 40,
No, it's not about. No, let her finish, man. AB. Let the man finish, in it, man. Please mute up, my brothers. Let someone finish their points and then come through. Come on, must finish off the point and then we pass it on.
Yeah, so that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is people get married for these reasons. When you start getting married, everything is when you get married when you're young. Okay, the reason why people get married young, there's many reasons for it. When you go through life and you've experienced everything already, people can't, especially in the day and age we're living in now. How can somebody, a young man, a young woman, not have sex until they're 30, mid 30s or 30s? All these things are reasons why it's impossible.
Yeah. No, but it's important. Let's be real, man. If we're not gonna be fake. Let's not be real. So I'm a halal, I'm a haram. After a certain age, virginity, all of that's thrown out of the window. And what happens to it? It's even in the Quran, if you leave a woman to her demise, but entire leg, she's gonna go cuckoo, run town accent. And do you agree now? With
She's gonna go crazy? Hold on a second. She's gonna be crazy if she doesn't find someone?
Yeah, if you leave her to her own devices. Come on. Everyone knows this.
No.
I need to pull out that quote. I need to pull out that quote, man. It's even there, man.
Give some examples of that happening. And does that happen to men also?
I don't think it happens to men because what it is, with you guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is my point of view. It's just a point of view. This bit, innit? Yeah. It's you've got a unique built-in system where you have to be a mother sooner or later, whether you like it or not. Yeah, even some women have choose not to. At the end of the day, they've made their choice. But at the end of the day, the older you get, sooner or later, you're gonna crave. And then no one, at the end of the day, no one rates the auntie with no children. Yes or no?
A lot of people.
I think in my opinion, women, when they are single at a advanced age, just 30 and over, they tend to become more vulnerable. And forgive me for saying this, but easy to an extent because they felt like their prime has been passed. We're daft then. We're daft in prime key. So it's more likely.
But some of them, some of them, Mahmoud, I'm meeting some of them. Yeah, after that, we really see tag and you think to yourself, darling, you're not no spring chicken. You ain't no spring chicken. I'm not gonna lie to you.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about maybe I'm talking about older girls that are 30, 32, 33 plus. I'm talking older girls.
And also in our culture,
what are they not
doing?
What are they not doing?
Explain what the problem is with them.
I'm just saying at that age, like I don't know how old you are if you will. I'm just saying, there's a natural biological clock. There's a time where women, I don't care what your career saying, and there's a lot of things that everyone's saying.
Yeah.
No one
wants sorry. What Khalid is
saying. So are you
is
saying they become evil or what?
Sister.
No, not evil.
What Khalid is saying is, for women have to get the major components of their life together a lot quicker than men. There's a lot of things running on women. They got clocks on them quicker than men. Men usually can be in their prime in their 30s and 40s and 50s. Women, they're in their prime in their 20s. Like, it's completely different game. So you guys have to get everything in order ASAP. But the thing is, nowadays we see a lot of women that are just lackadaisy through life. They're going through like they're going through a stroll. There's no sense of urgency. They need to get stuff done. What they do is their purpose is the same as a man's purpose now. Literally, get a degree, get a job, and that's the man's purpose to provide for his family. Women have fell off their purpose so far now. They become men.
And I think society's created that.
To blame, though, isn't it?
Society has created that. Let's be honest here, but society, who? No, but sorry, Mahmoud, I'm gonna agree with you. Who championed for this? Dummer did.
The
women championed fought for this, and now women are like, "Oh shit, this ain't really benefiting me."
Women are the most depressed they've ever been now.
Yes, well, like factual. Everyone knows this right now. Women in the West, women in the West, women in the West is women in the West are predominantly they're earning more money, less happier in life now, and that's across the board.
And they're not feminine.
That's factual.
Is there a study?
Yeah. So the exact thing that he's saying is, I think there's a stat. The most depressing woman, the most depressing people are women that's single with no children over the age of 30 to 40, something like that, earning around 100,000. This is in America.
Oh my God, I don't believe it.
The woman that's earning a lot of money, okay, that's got no children, no family, they are the most depressed group of people.
I don't believe that. I
Okay,
don't believe
all
that
right.
even
I
for a
could put the
minute.
study in the chat. I
You
remember
don't believe
seeing
that at
something like
all? I'm sure.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
you can
shocked.
put the study in the chat. I want to look at it.
Someone put the dalil in that for. Someone put the dalil in that for that. But what's your take? If go on, break it down. What's your take?
Okay, he was saying that women in this generation in the West are the most depressed out of all, like their mothers and grandmothers' generation. Maybe there's other factors. Like maybe there's the economy that's the issue. You know, it could be many different factors. It's not just about kids and a man. Many things, you know. Life is harder now for everyone, even for men. Men were happier way back. Now they're not as happy. So what about that?
Who said that? Look,
There's other
men have
factors.
not changed primarily from what they've been doing thousands of years ago. Men are still
Mustafa, what are you
protectors and
talking about? What are you
providers.
talking about? Men
Wait,
of our
wait.
generation have become
Depression-wise,
like.
No, the roles
Why are
of
men,
men, the
Mustafa?
roles
Why
of
are men
men have
committing
not changed.
suicide? Why do males have a high suicide rate? Why are men becoming simps and betas? I don't know what you're talking about, my brother.
No. I'm saying men's. I'm saying men's.
Can I
role,
answer that
I'm
one?
saying men's role have not changed.
Can I answer that
Okay,
one?
men's role are still protecting and providing, same as thousands of years
Not in the
ago.
West. Not in the
Women's
West
roles are the
protecting
ones that
women. What a load of
flip them.
rubbish.
What do you mean? A man, if he's a husband and a wife, the husband is still the protector and the provider of that family.
I'm not
This
talking
is
about.
what's
I'm not talking
expected of
about
him.
husband and
But
I'm
it's
talking
not.
about men protecting. No. What I'm trying to say to you is that the man protecting the woman. Like, well, I'll be honest with you. If I was to
Sorry,
go outside
there's a guy
right
called Khadar in the back here. Khadar, your connection is poor. Your connection. I know him. It's his connection. His connection is not working. I don't know what he's using. He needs to come back in. Carry on.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say to you, like, I'll give for the men in the room right here. Here's a scenario right here. If you saw a Somali girl walking down the street with her boyfriend, whether he's Somali or not, right here, and he's beating her up in the street, and this is all thanks to feminism and the Me Too movement, would you get involved in stopping it, or no? Would you walk away? Because if I was in that situation, I would have walked away.
If what happened?
Because back in the day, men used to protect the women, whether he was a stranger or not. If a woman was in danger, and I used that scenario.
Me personally, I wouldn't, because I learned that mistake from a Turkish neighbor, innit? Kabudi Sisulu Gargara'ish keeps running back to him for the last 10-15 years. Well, you know I'm coming from. So for a woman to be in that position, if it's a random man's attacking a woman, but if it's a couple, sometimes say if they turn on you trying to be a good Samaritan. Yeah,
What's most likely to happen? That is what's most likely to happen.
Yeah, bro, you gotta mind your own business.
That's white knight behavior. White knights have been killed. White knight behavior. That's the word.
Yeah. So if switch off your camera, sis. Oh, there it is. Yeah, bro, Khadr, I don't know what's going on with Khadr. Your connection.
I got the study if the sister wants it, yeah. But this you could just Google this. You could just Google this. This is not my own what's it called? Like making up. This is something that is known that this is the most depressed group of people are women that are making higher sorts of money. They're making higher than average amount of money, and they're single, no family. But this makes sense though. What's women's purpose? You got to think about it. What are their purpose? What are you made to do? You're made to reproduce. Women are more social creatures than men. Men can live by themselves, walk in the earth, and not feel the deprivation that women feel. Women need people to interact with.
Reproducing is like a team effort. It's both men and women. Don't you think they both need to reproduce? Like they both have the same desire to reproduce?
No, but we're made to just pop and bounce. That's what we're made to. We're made to pop and bounce. You're
because
made to
I've seen men who didn't have any children and how they act. I mean, they act like complete failures. They act like they failed at life because they couldn't have a kid. Because they want the name passed and they couldn't have that. So what about them?
I'm talking generally speaking. You can find everything. I don't like when people say these types of arguments. It's like saying nothing. You can find anyone that does anything.
They have the exact same desire to reproduce.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Like both of them both men and women as humans, we'd like to reproduce. Like that is something that a lot of us want to do. So it's the same for both men and
Okay,
women.
I understand this. A lot of men do want children. I'm saying one person is it's one of their main core purposes. Okay, that's one of your main core purposes as a woman is to nurture a baby. A man can impregnate 10 women in one day. Okay, one woman can only be impregnated once a year. Okay, it's your job to nurture and to take care of. This is part of your body. It's a big strain for you, for women when they're pregnant. All these things. These are big things for you. These are things that this is what you're meant to do. I'm not the one that's carrying it. You're the one that's carrying it. This is what your purpose is.
Interesting. I mean, the way I see it, it's like a woman.
It's not the way. It's not about the way you see it, young lady. It's the way it is. This is the problem, women. It's the way I see it. It's not the way you see it. Sister, please, it's the way it is.
Women in
It's
this
not
world
Mustafa. I think
feel
Mustafa
the
dropped her mic moment. He dropped a bombshell. What did he say? You can only get pregnant once every 10 months. A man could pregnate 10 women at the same time. Jeez, that was a quote. I'm done. That was my job, sis. That got you. If he didn't know what to say after that.
I think. Well, yeah, I think that was a Hadouken, but yeah.
No, it was. That was a.
But yeah, listen. No, but it's not the only purpose of a female to reproduce. That's not the only purpose. You cannot say that. And to nurture Kalia. And this
To be a
reproduction
mother.
process takes both. Yeah. Yeah.
Not to be a mother.
No, but this is what. It's not. I'm saying what the argument. I'm sorry. The argument.
Mustafa, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, Mustafa.
No, wait, brother.
Mustafa.
Yeah, brother. What? This is what women find the most happiness and content in life from. Women that find the most content and happiness in life are women that have families to take care of. They have family to take care of. They have, you know what I'm saying? They have the most content in life because they are fulfilling their purpose.
Is it all women though?
As women,
nurturing comes in many different forms. Like Mother Teresa never had any children. She nurtured a whole bunch.
Even in animals, have you seen in animals like a guy can have a cub? I'm not saying we're animal. I'm not like some evolutionist, but look how it even looks in animals. You see, when a lion, a male lion has a cub, he's not really into it like that. The woman will die for her.
Oh
cub.
my god,
she'll die for it. Wallahi, he's not really like, he just, okay, it's another kid just next to me. Wallahi, the lion doesn't care like that. The woman will die for the cubs. Have you not seen it?
Oh yeah. When the kids are born,
let 10 hyenas come to the lioness's cubs and see what she does.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with that.
She'll die protecting it.
Kids, the mothers are the more protective ones, and the children love the mothers.
Yo, can I give you a story of a cat back in Somalia? Like, you know my.
Yo, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to safe, man. I'm gonna mute you up, man. Fuck that, man. I don't want to hear that, man. Safe. Now carry on. Now he loves to do that, man. I don't want to hear that, bro. I hit you mute up again, bro. How can I get that from? I'm in the middle of a sugar. Nah, man, don't do that, man. Because your content, I don't want to do this live, man. Because your content, man, mute up, bro. Don't do that again.
Hey,
See what? Carry on.
I know what, sorry, carry on.
So hold on.
Yeah.
What you were saying?
Yeah, so let us, yeah.
I was saying, once they have kids, the women feel closer to the kids. They show more care and more love, and they get more joy out of taking care of that child. And the children feel closer to their moms too, Like, I don't think most kids in this world would choose their mom's life over, saving their dad's life. We know that. But I'm saying, like...
Sure?
Let's ask you, Walal. Let me ask you. What group of women do you think? Can I ask you a question? What group of women do you think are happier, housewives or career women?
Housewives.
I would say housewives that are taken good care of, yes, but not the ones that are left out to.
Okay, why would you say that? Why would you say that?
The ones that are well taken care of, yeah. Well, because they have a lot. They have basically the best of both worlds, Like they have the child, family.
Victim, would you be a housewife if you had the choice?
Yeah, I would actually, but I'd work from home, like online. Make my own money online.
Will you share that with your husband?
Okay, then you'll be happy as a housewife. What
Would I
about
share?
You really asked the question. Yeah, go on.
I'd put it aside for the kids when they grow up.
Okay, so that means okay.
Myself.
Let me ask you guys a question then. So you think that culturally, right? Like, are children more closer to their mother than their father's side? Like culturally, if they're from
Boys are, yes.
With Somali people, yes. Like I've never seen a Somali kid who was super close to their dad. I'm being honest.
I've seen a few that where the fathers assimilated the woman in the culture. He made her wear the hijab and everything. He took her back home. You know what I mean? The woman was writing for Somali culture harder than the husband.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Wait,
if the man is a man, especially Somalis, they can do that a lot. I've seen it with a Somali lander in Canada. He did the same thing because they were trying to ostracize the woman, and she's like, "What do you mean? I'm Somali too." And they wear hijab.
Sorry, Khader, can you switch off your camera? Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I've seen girls assimilate the guys too. Like I've seen that.
How you a man and a woman assimilate you in her culture? That no disrespect, but you can't be called a man like that. No woman can. If she's Punjabi,
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. You think women are so weak that they have to take?
I didn't say that. I didn't
culture?
say that. I'm just saying you're beta if you take if I marry someone and I take the female's culture over mine.
You can celebrate both. You can have both. Why not?
That's a Western concept. One culture dominates the other.
Listen, you can learn both languages, eat both foods, go visit both countries.
So go to the mosque and the church, Christmas and Eid, that type of culture.
No. That's not what we're talking about. Come on, we're Muslim here. I'm not saying go to the.
Well, you know, really, let me give an example on what you just asked. Like both cultures, like I'm from the north, yeah, in Somalia, and my wife is from the deep south. Yeah, listen to this. No, I'm not gonna go into Qabila or whatever. Hear me out. We have completely different, not completely. We have different traditions. Let's put it that way. Now, but automatically, my kids are always gonna be with the mom most of the time. Meaning, they probably speak like her. They probably know more about her culture, as I don't have much family in this country. Yeah, certain things you just can't help. Now, if you marry a girl, that's when you have to step in as a father and say, you know what, my kids are more likely to be swept away from my culture and my dagar and my whatever. Yeah, that's when you stepped in. That's when you need to really step in. So if you marry a Janabi, you need to step in. If you marry someone like Somali, I'm happy to speak Somali. So it doesn't bother me like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, this is what I want to say too. Because let's hypothetically, right? If they was saying like, if they're Somali, they're closer to the mother, right? But Somali people, do we acknowledge that the children have an Ajnabi father or a foreign father? Like, do we just disclude? We just say, oh, because they're closer to the mother. Because you could be culturally Somali, but blood lineage, can you really be like? You know what I'm trying to say? Even then, though, why do we parade that children need their fathers, but say the mothers are more influential? That's the weirdest part, right? If fathers are so important, then why do we say that women are more important into raising the children and fathers are needed? Because it's been proven.
It's the amount of time they spend together with them. That's
listen,
all it is, really.
That's where it comes from. When we say fathers need to spend more time with their children, we say that because it's true. And the fact that they have no influence and the mothers are influencing them is because the fathers are not doing their part. That's where it's the father's fault.
No, because the fathers are working.
I won't say it's the father's fault. I would just say is just circumstances. Father might be out working most of the time, whereas the mom is always a stay-at-home mom doing whatever. So it's not really no one's to blame. But when you do have free time, you should. I agree that you should spend some more time with your kids occasionally, more just as much as you can, really.
But let me ask you a question.
Whenever you get the chance.
Instead of doing the Fatni quick did it and sitting in the cafes and all of that.
Yeah, that's a waste man move, man.
No, but that's stereotypical.
She's right.
That's stereotypical.
She's definitely right. No, she's definitely right with this one.
Yeah. But let me ask
100. I agree. 100%.
With those, right? With those, most of the time their interracial marriages are Madho men.
And the kids become confused. Yeah.
No.
I've seen that. Yeah.
But why did the children identify as Madho if the Adam mom is the one that raises them? This is why it gets tricky. Identity, with interracial people or biracial people becomes like homosexuality. Like one day you're bi, one day you're this. Like this what's weird to me. So like I don't
So
get
what's
how.
it got to do with us, Ridley?
No, I'm just saying
Interracial
this. I'm
marriage.
just saying this.
Wait,
I
Faye
know
said something. Wait, what's she saying? Faye said? What's wrong with being housewives? Listen, it's women that demonize housewives. It's not men.
But men, this is the problem.
Look down
This
upon
is the
housewives.
problem. Yes. Thank you. And they're
Women are
just
the ones that look
realizing
down
right
on
now.
housewives and say, "Oh, you're just here. You're just at your husband's feet. What the hell's wrong with you?" This is women that demonize this. Men love housewives. They love it.
Do you know what women demonize? Is single, lonely mother women that are just washed up, dried up, and
Housewife is a
pathetic.
very difficult job.
Housewives.
It's a very difficult job. It's not easy.
Yeah.
No, but what about single mothers? It's more like, for example, women nowadays, they do not like a man around the house. She wants the house to herself and children and like.
That's a lie,
and-
man. That's bad, man. That's a bullshit.
No,
man.
I'm talking about women. I'm talking about what modern day women. They don't like the man to be around the
Are
house.
you a modern day woman, man? Don't lie. Nothing. Women would love nothing more than a man. You can't speak for them.
Okay, let me say this. And see, the millennial and Generation Z women, what I've realized this a lot too, it's happening with a lot of cultures, no matter what background, religion. A lot of females are having children out of wedlock. And this is what's creating single motherhood.
Of course.
Let me finish. It's not divorce, because it's more children out of wedlock, and the man has not committed to the woman. Thus, she's left with the child out of wedlock. It gives a lot of single motherhood. If you can do this with staff, more as the years go by, a lot of children are going to be born out of wedlock. No matter.
I don't see that. I don't see that in Somalis, though. I don't see that in Somalis.
But I've seen a lot.
Like single mothers that are out of wedlock.
It's not a trend, but I've seen a lot of Somali women, specifically more than men, having children out of wedlock with mostly Ajnabis, and who take the one. And then what they try to enforce in our culture, in our community, is try to, because the father's not there, they want to make the kid one of us.
You're in another country, innit? You're way Toronto.
I'm in Canada. That thing probably happens in the UK too. Definitely,
No,
the UK.
Lad, yes, big up, Sister F's. Sorry, Mus, we got another sister in the pitch.
Finally. Assalamu alaikum.
Guys, how are you?
Thank you, sis. Sis, we're gonna mute up. I want you to drop what you gotta drop. Everyone else hit the mute button. The floor's all yours, Wallah FA.
Right, I just wanted to speak on the guys that are talking about girls that first of all, there's nothing wrong with being a housewife. I've been a housewife and I've been a working mom. I've done both. Me personally, I prefer to go out to work, not because I'm competing with my husband, not because I have a problem with being a housewife. It's just a choice that I prefer to go out. I don't like to stay in the house. It makes me depressed. It makes me feel, it makes me feel useless. So I like to go out in the world to go to work, not because Ninkegan or Hinban Wada. No, because
I understand that.
I want to go out to work.
Let her finish, Mus.
Okay, sorry. Carry on.
Go on, sis. You love to work.
So not everybody, not all women want to be housewives. Some women want to go out and work. Even when you look at our parents, we some of our parents, Slama they were ba'mishter. They used to go out and even children. That's not because they're competing with their husbands or they want to act like a man or they want to be breadwinners. That's just
So then again, okay. Can I say something? On that note, we don't oppress our women. Then how comes this all again oppress us on all this crap? Then from time to back home,
let me ask her one thing.
Go ahead, G.
Let me ask her one thing.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, well, I'm not even gonna bring that argument about competing with husband, all of this. I just want to ask one thing: who's gonna take care of the kids?
The kids go to school. I take care of my kids. My kids.
I'm saying. Yeah.
Everybody's got a support system. Walala, you're acting like it's just you and your husband. You've got a support system. People are gonna help you. When you're talking about and they're young, 100%, I'll look after my kids. I'll be there for my kids. Do you know what I mean? And that's only no mother is just gonna. But what I'm talking about is that's a sacrifice that I would make as a mother. if I had someone to look after my kids, I would rather go out and work. But as a mother, that's a sacrifice that I would make for my child because I want to be with my child. I want to see my child grow up. Do you know what I mean? But that's a sacrifice I would make as a woman. But when it comes to working, I'd rather go out and work. I'd rather go and work. I don't want to sit at home.
Yeah,
it's depressing.
It's nice, you
So
know,
wait,
like
you said the sacrifice you make. Sorry, what sacrifice are you talking about? You would sacrifice working to take care of your kids. Is that what you're saying?
I would allow going to work to look after my child. That's my child. My child's number one. Everything I do, well, even as soon as you have children, well, I don't know who's a parent on this panel, but as soon as you have children, everything you do, everything we do is to leave behind for
Of
our
course.
children, right? Yeah. So everything I do, every
Yes.
choice I make is based upon my child. 100% my child comes first. That's a no-brainer. That's common sense.
Of course.
But when it comes to saying, oh, why are women not happy to be a housewife? Not all women desire to be a housewife. Some women want to go out and work. Some women want to leave something behind. They want to know. They want to be known for something. I don't want to be known as
I
her
understand
brightest
that. I
wife,
understand that.
or I'm more than a mother. I'm more than a wife. Do you know what I mean? So it's wrong to say, oh yeah, why are women not happy to be housewives? Yeah, let them just stay at home. They should be happy. The men are the providers. That's not the point. The point is,
you know what else too?
Yeah.
Come through
No,
if
no,
this.
no. Okay, well, where you
Let-
was,
let
I
Mus-
think you have a bit of a.
Mus.
She doesn't understand what I was saying, but sorry, carry on.
I know. Let Sister If come through, and then you come through, Mus. Go on, Ifs.
It's great to have a guy take care of you and, you know, provide for you and that. And I have no issue with that. But it's nice to have something of your own too. Like, it's nice to know that you don't 100% depend on this guy. You can make your
100%.
own. You can go out and buy your little jewelry, you know, your earrings, that kind of thing. It's nice to have that.
Can I ask a question on the panel? And for the sisters as well. And this is a question for the sisters, yeah. Do you think what us guys are doing right now, speaking about female issues, because earlier people were like, oh my God, Sidon, I ain't come what we're. Do you think these type of conversations are healthy and needed in our community?
Yeah, 100%. They are needed.
F?
Yeah,
You say,
yes,
Sister
they
F?
are. They are. It's healthy because without dialogue, there's no understanding. Dot go is fahman when I do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's good.
And again, do you think
the thing is, with the kids-
go ahead, Mus.
No, sorry. I was just thinking practically. Look, if you're the kids go to school, nursery. What age do they start? 3, 4? I'm not even sure.
2. They start at 2.
What age do they start?
2
Oh,
years
preschool.
old. Yeah.
Okay.
2 and above.
Okay, so 2 years old. Okay, so that's
Canada 4.
So that's at least if you got 3 kids. If you got 3 kids, then at least 3 kids. Say you got 3 kids. That's 2 years. 2 times 3. That's 6 years that you're not going to be working full time. At least minimum.
Not really. I've got 2 children. Alhamdulillah. My son is 10 years old. I've got another son that's 8 years old. You can work around your husband. Well, I used to work night shifts 3 times a week. You know, that's when I would go out because that's what I want to do. Not because somebody's forcing me to go out. Not because that's what makes me feel good about myself. Do you know what I mean? So
Faye, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, Faye. The question I wanted to ask, how do you feel about your children being away from you for, what is it? Is it 35 hours a week? Like the 7 hours a day, 9 hours a day into Saudi school? How do you feel them being amongst strangers, yeah, and being educated and potentially conditioned by strangers? How do you feel about that?
To be honest, I've took my kids out of school. I've decided to take them out of school this year. My kids are now homeschooled. I think I didn't like it. Yeah, I didn't like it. I don't want I think there's a lot of things going on. Yeah, and I would advise anyone that has got kids. The schools are just going left. It's not the schools and
yeah, they're going mad left.
They're doing a lot and if you can take them out, I would say take them out of school,
Yeah, don't
or
go
take them to
And what,
Islamic school.
homeschool them, you mean?
Yeah, homeschool them or take them to Islamic school.
Yeah, facts. You gotta watch out, man. LGBT is gonna take over your kid. He's gonna come back he's gonna come back acting different. He's gonna ask you
Yeah,
weird questions.
100%.
He's gonna ask you weird
Yeah.
questions. Mom,
My
am I
son
supposed to kiss a boy?
actually, my son was at school. They were talking about there was a kid in his school. So he had two female mothers, and they actually had a word with them in school to act like wahani wa ba'adi, and that's the day that I decided, you know what, I need to do something drastic.
boqoradaad tahay wallahi
This
boqoradaad
is
tahay
actually
ilaahay
a
kuu
scary
duceeyo
thing, you know.
wallahi boqoradaad tahay maasha allah
It's a
wallahi
scary
maasha allah
thing.
walaal waan kuu duceynaya
Yes,
wallahi
mashallah.
welcome
Yeah.
Wallahi,
But I gotta watch
Ross,
out. They're gonna destroy us. They're gonna destroy us with this mentality. They even try to do it on Nickelodeon, and then they lost all their ratings. All the parents shut down the TV.
Wow.
Wallahi,
Like
they shut
it's
down the TV.
crazy, man. That's what I'm saying. That's why these countries here, you gotta get out of here, man. You gotta get out of these
This
countries.
is what they're promoting. This
Because
is what
it's
they're
just
promoting.
sinister, man.
This is damaging everything.
Do you think, plus with the, all right, sisters, I want to ask the sisters something. This is the question I wanted to ask you. Do you think there's an attack on Somali femininity? Has there been an attack? And are the sisters unaware of this? Are they just waking up to this? What do you guys think of that?
An attack on what? Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I said attack on Somali femininity. Is there an attack on Somali femininity?
No.
Without the girls realizing. Imka, do you think a lot of girls are snapping up realizing?
No, I wouldn't say no. I don't know. No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Or is it just do you think it's just a guy thing?
I do think that there is an attack on it. You know, with these pages, they're promoting like the single mothers, you know, struggling, and they're saying, "Oh, look at this, like a strong mom."
You don't need a man.
Yeah, that kind of thing. They're like saying, promoting single motherhood as being something really, you know, extravagant and amazing. You know, I don't like that. Like, you can do anything and all of that. It's not good. We should promote families, like fathers and mothers
do you
together,
think that's because
taking care of their children.
Do you guys think that's because a lot of us come from broken homes, even though our buhu choga, he's not really there. Some people have yes. in the house, but he's there, but he's not there.
Yeah, I believe it. Well, I believe it. Well, a lot of the males. Yeah, we have to. I'll be asking them because these guys to cook with me. Because I feel like, but do you feel like they came here as refugees? We lock up somewhere in Chad. No, remember 2014 by UK. I'm just saying 2014 in the UK, Chad Balatrochi. Before you say no, before 2014, there was a certain man. I remember a story. A man and his dad lived in the same house. They didn't see each other for 6 years. One was tuning this mefresh, the other guy was tuning this mefresh. So I feel like that hindered, and then a lot of the Mukhaid, you know, the Mukhaid culture, a man would just wear in a suit, the guy Kisha Kenya, Siyad Bawahan Sameh or Musa, you know that bullshit.
Yeah.
So there is that disconnection. I think there is that disconnection from the RBR. Some of them, not all of them.
And these people, like, you know, on the social media, the girls that are promoting the single motherhood life as something really extravagant and, oh, this is woman empowerment and stuff. It's coming from them, you know, seeing this thing as normal, as like, okay, it's bad, but what can we do? They're like trying to fix the issue, but like they're not doing it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
It's like damage control, you know?
It is. I don't know. Do you think a lot of Somali sisters need to come out and speak together and say, you know what, this will it is kind of wrong. We need to, like, you know, damage control it. And do you think this is a conversation Somali women should have? Because as Ridley was alluding earlier, I'm a bit too old for this. I don't notice this, you know, men and Somali. I don't know whether I'm not on a lot of social media platforms. I don't notice it. But is it really true that there's a war going on between the guys and the girls in social media?
Yeah, there is.
I see it only online.
Yeah,
nowhere else.
I think because it's come with the ideology that
no, it's not just online. It's not just online. It's a societal problem. You can clearly see it. It's a societal problem. Somebody was referring to it earlier on. Women about being unhappy, etc., etc. Do you know what I mean? The gender wars created that. Yeah,
Exactly.
and
That's
that
what it is.
gender
It's a
war,
gender
and that
war.
gender
It's
war
been going
comes
on for a
from.
long time.
Let me finish, please. Let me finish. Yeah, that gender war comes from the divide and conquer. Do you get it? So they've diluted our culture, yeah, by telling us it's okay to chew green cocaine and to chop little girls, yeah. And then now they're doing this to us. So where does it stop, and how do we stop it?
So
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm a bit too old, like Khalid. I haven't experienced it on a personal basis, so it's mostly online and obviously panels and that.
I think
So
it's
yeah,
also girls that feel they've been treated less than guys, and it starts from the household. I think because habluhu are always treated different to their brothers and that's just our culture. So what
sorry, Faye, I was gonna ask you
shops.
something. Sorry,
Yeah.
I was on mute earlier. You mentioned earlier that you took your kids off. How did they react to school? Because I've got 3 kids of my own. I couldn't answer because I was busy doing something. How was you able to do that? And what's the procedure if you want to do home learning and that?
So there, by law, you can take your children out. So all you have to do is write a letter to the head teacher. So حضرانسا, for instance, I want to take my child out of school. You don't even have to give a reason. I've decided to homeschool them.
والله القصة بلا كدك وحاس بلدي ملك
And then,
you write a letter. There's a law. I forgot what the law is. Just Google it. There's a law. So you just put that law, copy and paste the law on there. Based on this law, I just want to take my kids out of school. I'm going to homeschool them. You send it to the head teacher. You just tell them the date that you're taking them out. And then that's it. On that day, that's the last day of school. That's it. And then your local council, whoever it is, or they will ring you, and then they will just ask you, oh, so now that you're homeschooling, what do you want to do? So what steps do you want to take from here? So with me, my kids learn online. They're in an Islamic online school. So they're gonna attend this school. That's it, and that was it. That's it.
Yeah, because the
It's very
school,
easy.
Are Somali
it's
parents? I've
headache,
got one
man.
question.
They
I've got a
are,
question for Faye. Are Somali parents even aware in 2021? Yeah, I don't want to sound old school, but are they even aware of what their kids are being taught in school?
I'm not. I'll be honest with you. I mean, my son is in year 2. He's going to year 2 soon. So I don't. I know. Like I said, I'm too busy. But it's concerning, obviously, this LGBT thing and what. But we don't know. So
They start. I think
think
they start from year 5, but they're
year 5,
gonna
year
start.
5. I don't know that.
Yeah, so from year 5, yeah, but they're gonna start introducing it. They have books and all sorts. You can look it up.
I've seen
They're gonna
some
start
of them, man.
introducing it slowly. Yeah, so they start off with different types of families. So these are different types of families.
Yes, 2 men, 2 women. I've seen the books.
2 men, yeah, 2
Yeah,
women,
you're
and
okay.
then different types of genders. These are different
Yeah,
types
and
of
also
genders. So there's
I was speaking to my head teacher of my son's school, and she was telling me that at some point we won't even be able to allow to. We have to say 3 genders, Vajira, instead of 2. She mentioned something about that. She's saying there's 3 Yeah, they were saying something about that. So maybe a year ago now. I spoke to her about all because there was a lot of protest going on. She was like, at some point, she wasn't for it or anything, but she explained to me that at some point we won't even be allowed to say male or female. It's going to be 3 genders, I think, or 4.
But do you think this is gonna create a bit of havoc where when you imagine
time,
when
man.
you're sexually developed, yeah, and you're playing with you see the boys play with the boys who play football, the girls do what the girls doing. Ain't not gonna that's
it's
fucking
gonna this is not something we can
coming.
avoid. Like even my son, he's got a football team called Dicta. There was a girl on his team that is now Alex. She was Alexa before Alex, but so it's not something we can avoid. We just need to tell our children because this is this is the problem. We need to explain to our children this is what they are doing. We are on this side, Muslim and we need to be open with our children instead of acting like this doesn't exist.
But
And
but Somali community has been doing it for 20 years. Like didn't our community wasn't aware that this
No, but
madness
I
was
think
going to come?
a lot of the times with the Somali community, we act like, oh, sexual intercourse lagama hadli karo. You know, I think we need to be open with our children. Waxani waa wax dhaca, a man and a woman markay isguursadaan, you know, this is normal. That's how
And kids
a
are
child
becoming
is
more exposed to
created. Yeah, the
adult
kids
things
are
much earlier.
exposed now. It's not something we can hide anymore. We need to have these
Yeah,
conversations with our
agree.
children in an appropriate way, and involve the deen and teach them, you know, deentani waxan weeyaan, deentani waa, you know, in the Islam waa sida, in our culture sidan iyo sidan. You can't act like this doesn't exist. We're not going to talk about it and just send them out to the world, because there's other people out there that are more than willing to have these conversations with them, and
Yeah,
and you're not even aware of it.
صح. True,
You know
very
what I
true,
mean?
man.
So yeah,
MashaAllah, you like kufu there.
I mean, and all of us, well, it's
I
not,
think
it's not
I think the mindset. I think what the mindset.
Somali need
Huh?
to create their own schools. Like the Pakistanis, they need to have their own schools. In Canada here, they have their own schools and they
In
teach.
Birmingham, I think they've got their own schools, you know, in the UK. I think that's about the only place.
Community,
But
wallahi.
in London, no. Yeah.
That's bad. London is very.
I mean, I don't know if you guys been to Birmingham, yeah, London from the UK, but if you go to some areas, mashallah, man, you see about 100 mosques in one road, man. Like, or community centers, those Islamic centers, and then London, there's got a lot of these tiny mosques in there, but I don't know, man. You don't get the vibe like that, like you do in Birmingham, Malaha, up north. They're well established there.
Yeah, but then okay, you know what? If they can't be that. Why can't someone invent on school line and teaching where it's for free?
Yeah,
I don't know. I think that's the way forward, man. Where you could access it to a lot of people. Boom, that's it.
Oh shit, word. Yeah.
Well, I like homeschooling. It has to be either homeschooling or what the kind of son.
Yeah, it's true, man.
We're gonna have a phenomenon, these guys. Like I'm saying, there's already a couple of guys on social media like Blue Makeup or again, that's detrimental to have
you know
the
that
community.
guy, Khalido. The problem with that, that was Somali women have introduced him and they made him big.
They put him on a pedestal. What about Somali women? What about DJ Zubair that's doing interviews with him? They're both on a massive platform. There's a Somali man that's even behind this as well. So we need to call out this dog behavior.
No,
wait, Khalid. Who's if I see something in the comment that I feel like is just man, I'm gonna speak about. Who's this Mariam, what she said?
What did she say?
Listen, she said some Somali man feel entitled to a feminine, educated, well-bred Somali. This is one problem I have, yeah? Let me tell you what I have.
Yeah.
Why do you have to be feminine only when it's a when like you being feminine is a pleasure for us? You're meant to be feminine. It's like me. It's, for example, if I say to a woman, look, I will only be a man when you earn it. If you didn't earn it, I'll be feminine. Does that make sense to you?
Jeez, well, I must be dropped here. I'm gonna start using that.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense. It's like I'll be feminine. I'll act like some gay man until you earn it, and then when you earn it, then I'll act like a man. You're meant to be feminine naturally. Why are you acting like this? Like, why do you have to be? You're meant to be feminine naturally.
Not act like a Shaniqua.
I don't understand the problem with this.
I thought you liked Shaniqua's ride. Didn't you say that? You said you like African American women, fam. What are you talking about?
No, but it's not. This girl, I think she's a definition of an incel. At the end of the day, what does that mean? Femcel, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
It's like no, for me, it's like. But then again, she doesn't represent all Somali women. That's what you gotta remember. But there's some Somali women that want to be feminine, that want to be, Tanokale. She's one of them women that's she's probably alone by herself now. You get me? Kelly
She's gonna be in the Salafist mosque, man, waiting for the next guy the highest bidder.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, the only reason why I addressed it is because it's not just her saying this. I've heard many women say shit like this.
A lot of women.
The thing I know pisses me off. The thing that
it's like
the narrative what pisses me off here, and I had to. Me and a lovely sister called Afternoon Tea with Hibbs. I'm getting at her young sister, 25. I'll keep telling her, why are you pushing this agenda? Men are trash. Men are trash. Stop saying that for a young woman. You know where I'm coming from? Because there's girls that's listening to you, probably gonna watch this and see this and think, okay, men are trash. And when you speak to these girls, is your brother trash? Is the men around? You know, every single man in my family is good. So then who's trash then?
You know
It's
what
them
it is?
agendas on it.
You know, in
You
their
should
defense, though,
You know what
in
it is,
their
though?
defense,
Yeah, no,
It's
sorry.
their fault.
Let her finish.
It's
Let
their
the girl
fault
finish. Let
for
the
picking
girl speak. Let
trash.
the girl speak. Yeah,
in
let the
those
sister come
girls'
finish.
defense, these girls are not just shouting men are trash. These are experiences that they have had, whether it's from their fathers, brothers, that fucked them over. They promised to get married to them and then left them for dead.
So you're
Like
justifying it.
these girls feel like, you know what, this is what happened to me. Let me warn hablahan iga yaryar, or let me warn other girls, don't go near them, guys. They're fucking trash. You don't need a man. Do
No,
what you gotta do for
I'll tell you the problem as
yourself.
well. I'll tell you what the problem is. The problem is, obviously, not all men out here are trash or whatnot. It's their inability to pick a man of value is the reason why
Facts.
it's like this. It's to blame them for their choices, their conscious decisions. It's their fault for picking. It's their misfortune. They're the ones with the brain and they pick trash. It's your fault. It's not anybody else's fault.
Can I just
Why
interrupt you?
blame
How do
men
you
for
expect a
your
girl?
stupidity?
But let me tell you something. How do you, like, just an example, yeah? How do you expect a girl that didn't have a good father, a good male figure growing up in her life, like they're fucked as well? How do you expect a woman like that to then understand the value of a man and choose a good man? How? She doesn't even know what a good man is. That's struggling, that struggle to raise her. I'm just giving an example, yeah, because this is what mostly happens. Was struggling to raise her and her siblings. Her brother could 24/7 in and out of jail, doing what he wants to do. She has to help her mom with all the pressures that her mom is dealing with, and then goes out in the world thinking, you know what, and he fucks her over, the next one fucks her over, the next one
Yeah.
How do you expect that person to understand what a good man is, or to choose a good man, when she's never seen a good man in her life? That person is just only gonna resent men and hate men.
That's a
I
brilliant point.
understand.
It's just a mic drop.
That's why for
Mic
me, I
drop.
believe. Yeah. I believe when it comes to women should not vet men. If I have a daughter and she is looking to get married, I'm the one talking to him. You're not talking to him. A man can see through another man. A woman can. She's blinded. She's blinded by her emotion. I'm telling you
I
the real.
understand, but you're a
Father
good
should vet
father.
the
Imagine that
husband
person
more
doesn't
than
have
anything.
that father. Imagine that person doesn't have that father in their life. Maybe
Yes.
she doesn't even know what it is. And then
No,
she
let the
chooses
sister
someone
finish.
that she thinks is a good man, but that guy fucks her over. Then the next guy fucks her over. Then the next guy fucks her over. That person is only to the point where some woman, you know what? Fuck men. I'm a lesbian, but I'm turning lesbian. This is what happens.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah, I
her.
know
I've
that.
seen
I
her.
know that.
I've
I'm
seen her. This
turning
is happening.
lesbian. Or fuck men, I'm buying the toys, all the toys in the world. That's what I'm buying. Fuck men,
But
and these
listen,
women
sister,
get
well,
angry.
the one thing. Look, I think there's a bit of a lie, but the one thing that was, let's be real. You attract what you are. A lot of people attract what they are. She's got a problem with herself. No one in the world owes sympathy to her. She needs to fix that within herself. There's no handouts in this world. Nobody's gonna give you a handout. She has to help herself. She has to recognize that it's a problem, and she has to help herself.
Yeah.
No one's gonna help. No one's gonna help no one.
There's a question on the board for you. Faye's got that for you. You want to read that out, Brody?
Okay.
Yo,
I
tell
want
her,
to
yeah,
know
Faye.
from Mustafa, is he going to look after her financially, mentally, physically, like a traditional man would, or does he want the woman to change her ways as a traditional woman? Does he want the woman to change her ways as a traditional? Okay, no, I can see the comment. You don't need to highlight it. So, what's the question? Explain it to me, somebody. I don't understand what you're saying. I want to know, is he going to look after her financially? Of course, I want to look after her financially, mentally, whatever that is, physically. Yeah,
Like a traditional man would. Or do you want to change her traditional ways?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. What she's trying to say. Would you traditionally look after her like had a real man would, or would you want to change her ways? I think that's the lines. I would love her to come on and drop it and explain what she's saying.
Okay, I'm not a modern family. You know, I'm not a modern, 50-50 partnership. Okay, in my household, it's a benevolent dictatorship. Okay, both of us know our positions. Do you understand?
Definitely, yeah. Definitely. Yeah. What did she say? She asked you another question. Basically, looking at a traditional or Western woman, even though you said you are a traditional man. Jeez. She hit you up with another question.
Basically, are you looking for traditional or westernized women? I'm looking for traditional. I'm looking for a traditional woman. Who wants a modern woman? What man in the world wants a modern woman?
I done liberal. Thomas Jefferson.
Only people that want it are like or men that are weak, like beta men that are weak, that women can control.
I'm telling you right now, I down males are going to swoop up all of these POC liberal BLM girls. Wallahi, this because no man who wants to be a liberal, who wants to push away their culture and who they are for other people and causes. Imagine going to protest with a bunch
Ridley, BLM love those type of men. You do realize that, right?
Bro, this is what I'm trying
They
to
love
say,
white men who, you know why BLM women love white men? All colored women love white men because they're easy to control because he's a pushover and that.
It's all in self-esteem. All in self-esteem. Weak self-esteem. Girls are vulnerable to a lot of males and lots of, this is why they're broken and they like to use male. When you're vulnerable, a male's gonna manipulate. Anyone who's vulnerable, male or woman, are gonna be manipulated. You know what I mean? Groomed into a certain way of life. You know what I'm trying to say? There's no excuses. You live in the West. You have the freedom to do what you want to do. It's you to.
The thing is. Oh, sorry, brother. Carry on.
It's for you to make the right decisions to help yourself. When it comes to traditionalism, you have to, first of all, to be honest, traditionalism is dead. It's like we were speaking before, and the other lady said before. Most women want to work. They want to do their own thing. They want to have their own thing. It's gonna be. They want to have their cake and eat it. They want to, they want to be able to work, have a family. Both those can't correlate. You know what I mean? You have to choose and pick and choose one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen. On that question that she asked, on the question that she asked, when she's talking about would I take care of her financially, mentally, all this. Look, for me, I feel like for my role as a husband, I would take pride. Okay, I feel like it's my purpose in the marriage. I'll take pride in financially providing, making sure everything's good in that regard, everything like this. I would want a wife that's the same on the other spectrum, a wife that takes pride in taking care of the house or take care of the children, making sure that they're eating good food. All these things, you would want someone that takes pride in that the same way I take pride in taking care of the rest. Do you understand?
Yeah, I got you, fam. That's the thing. That's the thing, though, right? Because at the end of the day, man, it's like when you look at traditionalism, right? The woman has to have certain qualities that match it. Like I don't want to sound like very sexist, but like there's a saying, right? As they say in the urban culture, can you turn a hoe to a housewife? Like that's the situation we're living in right now. That's the reality.
Just something I thought we were speaking about now, how the selection of men for these young women who Makanaan and whatever, yeah. Just clocked something back in not that long ago, yeah, in London. I remember this is something that used to piss me off about Somali boys, not man, boys, young guys basically. They might be chatting to a girl, right? She might even be virgin. She might even be virgin or whatever, but she genuinely likes the guy, right? And the guy obviously is not serious about her. So what's I mean? He's gonna probably take advantage of her because she likes him that much, and then he's gonna obviously when he does his thing, he's gonna spread rumors. This was something that used to annoy me, man, about the young boys. Oh, Tawa was sick, Tawa was scout. And then the rumor goes around, and then the girl obviously she's gonna feel some kind of way towards Somali boys or men. And then that's also I think that's part of the problem. Some boys are so immature, man. Brother, some boys in London, they're so immature, man.
That's a problem, yeah.
That's a big problem, man.
Guys, let me. I think some of like back in the days,
Yes,
yeah, I just was listening, but I think we're missing something in the mix because I think when we were back home, in our country, in Africa especially, there used to be a lot of communication between father and son, mother and daughter. But since we came over here, that has the dynamic has changed, because mothers are not communicating with their daughters. They're not telling them the rope, how they should behave when they grow up, how to act around men, and how to, handle themselves once they, be out there. And when there is no communication, then girls are just, going to be preyed on. It's a matter of fact. I think the biggest issue is a girl, she's going to 9 to 5, she starts school 8 in the morning or 9 o'clock. She comes back 3:30. She goes to her room with her, mobile phone or iPad or whatever. She's stuck in her room. Nobody's talking to her. Even if the mother tries to talk to her, she shuts her down. Mom, I'm busy. I've got homework to do, this and that. So that dynamic of mother and daughter to pass all the experience, all the expertise that the mother has is no longer there. And same thing with the fathers. They hardly talk to their sons. They hardly sit around, tell them how it used to be, what needs to be done, how, to handle yourself as a man, how to respect, ladies, your mothers, your sisters, the lady that's going to be your wife one day. So there's a lot of things that has been turned upside down. So that's why I think the communication problem between, young people who are getting married is breaking down at the level of the family. The family institution have been corrupted. So we need to address that.
True. That's true.
Why?
That's true.
Well, that's true, Khaled.
Yeah, what the brother saying is very true. Before there was very strong families and what's it called, family systems and all these things in place to make sure. But there's another problem that I see when it comes to this. For example, we have a distorted version of marriage. We think marriage is like some Disney movie, when our parents never had no Disney romantic marriage, but they were together for a long time. Back in the days, our parents' generation, they were married for decades. But now our expectations are so high that the second it doesn't meet what we think it should be, we're quick to, bail out.
Yeah.
But it's especially true with women, to be honest. Especially true with women. Women are the ones that break most marriages.
But you know
over
what it
80%
is, though.
of marriages are broken up by women.
Yeah, because divorce is a business in the West. Do you know how much money is there to make for divorce lawyers? With the settlement and everything, they get a quarter of the money. You know what I mean? Divorces are very profitable. Regardless, the statistics are showing that marriage is an industry that is dying more and more. Every whatever you can get from marriage, you can do it without the signing the contract. You can live in common law partners, but even then you can lose some money too. You can have children out of wedlock, you can have premarital sex, all of this thing. You don't need marriage no more. You know what I mean? People just do it to do it now. Like if they really want to, it's unnecessary. You know what I mean? This is all going the way it's supposed to go. This is all part of the plan. You know what I'm trying to say? This is all part of the plan. If you want traditionalism, you're gonna have to go back to a country that practices it. Over here, it doesn't exist. Especially where I'm in Canada, forget about it.
Forget about it. On to Canada, you Canadians, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a whole different thing over there.
Oh, for sure, bro.
The most liberal Somalis I've ever seen come on this panel, the most fucker is Team Canada.
Facts. That's how it is, fam. It's the society in Canada. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's decent Somalis out here. There's a few that make it out, but it's looking very poor, fam. It's very poor out here, man. Even like the prison is filled with a lot of them. Every time I talk to someone, they always say, "Oh man, you Somalis fill up the jails, man." I was in there, and I'm like, "What the fuck? That's not a compliment, bro. I don't need to know that." I'm like, "That's the shit. Like, that's what they're known for, filling up the prisons, man." They're shitty criminals. You know what I mean? It's like it's not a good look. This is why you gotta, people gotta find careers. You gotta find goals. There needs to be like a community leader. You know, just like how they have like a Ayatollah or like a Pope or like the type of leaders. You know what I'm trying to say? Like they get an elected chief or some shit. We need that in the community. You know, especially in the diaspora. There's lack of that.
They're saying something in the chat. Look. They basically look from what they're saying. I'll answer them. I don't believe that men are exempt from fault neither. I don't believe men are faultless. We've got our problems as well. The only thing I'm bringing up about women a lot is because women are the one that changed the most from their traditional roles to what they are now. But men are have faults as well. We need to be. We are the heads of the households. We're supposed to be the head. I think we are supposed to. The thing is, when the rise of women becoming more masculine is the rise of men becoming more feminine. Men have become more feminine as women become more masculine.
There
This is
isn't
how it
enough?
is.
Go ahead, sister.
Do
Come
you
through.
think there's not enough male leaders?
No, because they put shit in the water.
They put shit in the water?
I can't hear her. What did she say?
No, they put shit in the water. They put that chemicals and
do you
shit.
think within the Somali community I'm talking about, do you think there isn't enough male leaders? So there isn't a strong leader that people can look up to and respect? Because in fact, I can't think of one Somali leader that's male that I feel like, you know what, that guy makes sense. He makes good points.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I don't think we need one like particular Somali person to look up to. I think it's a So for example, I used to go in on this when I used to go Speaker's Corner years back. I think Khalid was there back in the day when we used to go in on this. I used to always say that when it comes to men, okay, I feel like it's true in Somali households, the mothers do teach the daughters how to be wives. They teach them kind of how to cook. They teach them what to do. They bring them into their chores and things like this. They try and get them into that. The fathers are usually absent. They feel like their role is paying the bills and just that's it. As long as they're paying the bills, that's it. There's no really. The thing is for the boys, what they need from the fathers. Can you not hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the fathers, the main role from the father is structure and discipline. What's that? Yeah. The main
Wallah
thing from the
Mustafa, the
fathers.
fathers are becoming less uncommon in the British society. There's a street in the UK that Sky News went to is full of single mothers. I'm talking about communities now, like fatherless households have become adi nowadays. It's becoming more and more rare. Fathers are becoming more and more rare in London and Manchester and Birmingham and all
the daddy. The state is the daddy. That's what it is. And not to mention,
No,
like
but
I
Wallah, I see it all the time. Like fathers are
because
becoming rare
children out of
these days.
wedlock.
All I see is single mothers where I live.
Yeah, because look, these women are not divorcees. This is children out of wedlock.
No. A lot of the ones in I don't know, but that's Canada, man. The thing is here, the majority of it of Somalis, especially. I'm not even talking about other communities.
Oh, Somalis.
Okay, it's divorcees. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is called Somali speakers, mate. We're not talking about Jamaicans. We're just talking about Somalis.
No, I'm
mainly,
talking about the society. I'm talking about I'm not talking about ethnicity. I'm talking about in British in the West.
But I'm talking about
Single-headed households have become common. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter.
Society has on Somalis. Okay, that's my concern.
So why do you think there's more why do you think people are getting divorced?
I think it's not just Somalis in particular. I think this is just a whole society.
All thanks to feminism and the Me Too movement.
Somalis is a part of it. Okay, Somalis is just a part of the. Divorce has been on the rise for years now. Divorce is on the rise in all communities, especially Muslim even Muslim communities. Divorce is on the rise.
No, but Muslims have got high divorce rate. Mustafa, you know what's interesting? You mentioned Muslim, my brother. Why do Muslims got a very, very high divorce rate? It's become so common in conservative communities now, like divorce.
Well, it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. There's a lot of, looking at just Somalis, even the divorce rates are so high, and it's like what 60% of people that get married or divorced. That's ridiculous. That's too high.
And yo Mustafa, and you said something about can you guys firstly define what feminism is for me, because I don't understand feminism. I don't really watch that or anything like that. So hello.
Yeah, hello.
Can you define what you mean by feminism? Do you just mean that women are trying to take men's roles? Is that what you
No,
just
I
mean?
thought the feminism is a loaded term nowadays. That's why people don't use it. There's many
No, let's
different
focus on
waves of
third wave
feminism.
feminism. Can we focus on third wave feminism?
No. I'm trying to get to a point, Brad. Please. And go on, Mustafa. What was he saying?
So it depends on how you define it. How it is today is, I think originally what it was is equality between men and women is what they originally said it was. So that's what they originally said it was, but it's changed over the years.
Okay. And so basically, okay, I'm just gonna focus on the roles thing, yeah, and like mixing roles and stuff. Obviously, that's not right. Woman has a particular role, man has a particular role, right? And if I was and forget about if I was to define what a man is, and this is why, and I said in the comments why we are the problem as well, and men should be a provider, they should be protectors. They have a lot of roles, a lot of hard roles as well. They have the harder role. In fact, they have the harder role, and a lot of us are not living up to that role. Let's face it, a lot of us ain't living up to that role. For women, and you can't, women, you kind of shot yourselves in the foot with this one, yeah, because and most of you are against polygamy, but most of the good men are already married. So if you're looking for a good man, you're probably gonna have to marry a man that's already married. You get what I'm saying? So you guys shot yourselves on the foot on this, because there ain't a lot of good men out there.
Wait, I don't know what you're saying.
What I'm saying is the good men are in high demand and low supply. And what women have, what
do you mean, polygamy or polygyny?
Polygamy. What they've done is they've shot themselves in the foot by saying, and we don't want a man that's already married, or they frown upon and men having multiple wives. They frown upon that basically. And so yeah, you guys kind of shot yourselves on the foot on that one. Because yeah, good men are in high demand and low supply. And yeah, and that's the gist of it, just about what I wanted to say. But yeah, and yeah, that's it.
The girls shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, because they're against polygamy. Most of them are against polygamy.
I have to disagree. I have to disagree with you, because men are already, like you guys just said, there's a high percentage of divorce already. They cannot even look after one woman. How do you expect that same guy to look after 2, 3, or even 4? I think it takes a certain man
It's not
to
that
look
they
after
can't look
4
after
women.
their women.
No, let
If
me
the
just
woman
finish. It takes a certain man to look after 4 women. That is a man that is
Exactly.
God-fearing, number
low supply,
one.
high demand. Exactly. Low demand.
Which, yeah, and there is not a lot of men that are God-fearing anymore, Walala. Let's be honest. Even
Low supply. That's what I'm saying.
that
Low
are wearing
supply.
khamis, you can't. Women cannot. Even the guys that are claiming to be God-fearing, you're not even sure of them anymore. You're not even 100% sure if this person, do you know what I mean? Like, we're coming to a time, Walala. This is already been written. We're coming to a time where
100.
we're coming to the end of times. And the people were going further and further and further away from our religion. Forget feminism, deen, not deen, sorry, daqan, all this, even our daqan within ourselves, our daqan is wrong. A lot of things within our daqan that is being done to women is haqadara. Even deenian, it's wrong. But our elders will justify it by saying, wadakan, you can't even question it. That's our culture. Like FGM,
what?
like I don't want to go into it, like FGM and forced marriages, like there's a lot of things. There is a lot of things. And this whole feminism movement, forget Somali, it started off because the reason it started, it was started for the right reasons. Do I agree with it where it's heading today? No, it's gone too far. Where they're going with it today, that is just going left. But the reason it started, we need to look at the core of why feminism started. Feminism started because men were mistreating women and not giving them basic rights such as voting. Women were not even allowed to vote not that long ago. Women were not even allowed to go to school. That was not even that long ago. So we need to understand why this movement started and why it's going left now. People have taken it left. I'm not disagreeing with you guys. Is there a war to males and all this LGBTQ and yes, 100% these things exist, but we need to understand why it started to begin with. It started because males were not giving women just normal basic human rights. And if you look at it dinian, if we go back to religion, forget Adakan, because even Adakan, there's a lot of things that are wrong. When we look at it dinian, walala, if we go back to the religion, that's then we can get to a place of understanding, because the deen has already told the woman what her right is, what the man's right is, how we should live, how we should do things. But the people choose to ignore the deen and choose Western culture, what is it called, Somali culture, and all these things. We need to go back to the deen. That's the problem. We're getting further and further and further away from our deen.
Fa, are you against polygamy? Do you frown upon polygamy at all?
I'm not against it, but it's not for everyone. And there's ways certain men will go about it. They feel like, oh, that's my right, and I can do what I want to do. Just because that is your right, you have to go about it the right way.
The right way,
That doesn't
I
mean
agree with that.
you're gonna go and and there's other walala within our culture. There's other iska tagi Somali iska so gursani. The wife doesn't even know about it. She's at home looking after his kids, the house. She doesn't even know.
He doesn't have to tell her though.
Imagine how that
I think he
person
doesn't have to
feels.
tell her. I think he doesn't have to tell her.
I understand, but it's just whether he has to tell her or not.
And
that's your wife.
I found something shocking here, and I think it was in a hadith. I have this habit of just reading so many stuff. I forget where I read it from, and I found something that said, and you can actually it's allowed to lie to your wife if it's going to make her angry, if it's going to make her mad, if it's going to make her flip the switch, and it's okay to lie to her. It's actually not a sin.
That's not the point. The whole world knows you got married. The whole world outside of your marriage knows you got married. People are calling your wife now.
It is the point, because you're gonna flip. You're gonna flip. When they find out, they're gonna flip.
That means you have no respect for your marriage and your wife, because people are calling. Imagine how that woman feels. If that person loses, people lose their mind over these things. Imagine how you did not even have the dignity to tell your wife.
Fa, you understood why I said, and you guys shoot yourselves in the foot now, right? Because there are so many few good men, yeah, that you guys are against, are somewhat frowning on polygamy. It is not working out for you in your favor. It's not working out for you. Like Faye H just put, would I'm trying to destroy the single ladies' home? Please be quiet. There are still great men. Listen, it's a false fantasy. The good men are very low. There's very few of them. There's not many. That's all I'm saying. Like you're shooting yourself.
No. When it comes to polygamy, or it's actually called polygyny. Polygamy is when a woman can have multiple husbands as well. It's polygyny. Polygyny is when only the man can have multiple wives. When it comes to this, okay, they are. It's obviously that even in the time of Prophet ﷺ, it wasn't every man that was having multiple wives. It wasn't like this. It was allowed in society, but it wasn't something that everybody practiced. Okay, when it comes to this, especially in nowadays, it takes only a certain caliber. Imagine just a normal man, he could barely make ends meet for his own family. How's he gonna pay for 2-3 families? It only takes a caliber of man that can actually do this. Actually, caliber of man that women are willing to share him. Okay, if you're just some average guy out here, a woman is not gonna, you know what I'm saying? You're average, she's average, you live your average lives together. If he's a level up, you know, then maybe she'll be willing to share him. That's just the truth. Depends on the caliber of the man.
Yeah, that's why I said they're very low. I don't even consider myself one of them. They're like very, very low. Like this, I'm not trying to big myself up or anything. That's all I had to say, man. You guys are shooting yourselves in the foot in that respect.
Yeah, I would like to add something to this. I think you know, when it comes to both you know, Somali men and Somali women, first of all, we live in a you know, in a country which is completely different, you know, culture to us, the way we live back home. Men used to you know, were brought up to go into, you know, work, and then women had support in the family. So if we all look how we grew up, maybe some of you were born here, but those who can remember who grew up back in, you know, Somalia, there were support system that built around the family tree. So if a man was out there working, the woman had people who are working under her. She had family members who were helping her. She had, for example, you know, she could get someone employed as a housekeeper, and all those things were something that were taking the, you know, the weight out of the burden. Yeah, but now because we came over here, men have not changed at all. We still are caught up in that old system. And it's not easy for us to change because we are brought up like that. Our fathers were brought up like that. You know, generation to generation. We have not stepped up.
Do you think it's time to change?
It takes a lot of you know, communication. Young men need to be made understood because they are learning from their fathers.
Yeah, but then again, the problem is, right now. Sorry, Khaled, can you mute in your while we're talking? Are you listening to YouTube? YouTube ka kabax walaalo.
Aniga miya? Waan ka baxay YouTube-ka.
Are you sure you're on YouTube? How comes the background noise?
Imaka caadi ma yahay?
Mate, YouTube ma daawanaysaa? YouTube ma naga fiirsanaa?
Yeah, ha. Let's wait.
YouTube ka kabax. YouTube ka.
Okay, wait.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, yeah.
Is that okay now? Okay.
No, okay, no, Khadr, you have to, So where is it? You have to mute up, man. We've got some mad echo going on right now, innit? Yeah.
Some background noise.
Yes, because do you know what it is? He's listening to YouTube. I know what's happening. Someone's listening to YouTube and they're on the platform.
If you're on your phone, yeah, you gotta minimize that or exit that tab.
Exit YouTube. YouTube don't cover Khadr wrong, innit? You got some mad background. But what Khadr is saying is right, innit? Because back in the day there was a support system. But this is the problem. Because right now, even me while I was just gone, I'm getting attacked for giving men or people platforms to speak. And this is the mushkila this is the mushkila from the female sisters, innit? Yeah. It's like some of them are allergic to hearing men speaking. Today, a lot of certain people, we pissed them off today. But when can men actually hold and speak and say, you know what, women, this is what I'm finding frustrating, especially in our culture. Where it's just weird right now. Oh, you lot been bashing women. Well, you're bashing women. What do you mean you're bashing? When can, like I try to explain to a sister, when can you do that? Pull her to our side and say, you're sitting and say, Maha, without them giving you that attitude. And that's what I found fascinating and wrong now. It's like you don't want us to speak. When we do speak, you find it offensive. So it's every angle.
Can you hear me now?
You can hear you perfectly. Perfect.
Yeah. No, what I was saying is, I'm using the headphone now. What I'm saying is, I think if we have to look at it in a deeper level, like for example, you know, how, you know, in this country things work, you know, that the men have to really put in a lot of effort. They have to be doing a lot of things. They have to be taking their kids to school or bringing them out of school, or, you know, at least trying to arrange certain things to help with the woman. But there's a lot of things that are not happening at all. And that's why women, she looks at the situation and she's the one, she's taking the kids to school. She's the one that taking the kids out of school. She's the one that is taking the kids to, to the pharmacy or to the GB. She's the one who taking the children, to the mal'amad, madrasa. She's the one who is doing the shopping, and he's sleeping or he's working or he's busy. And the thing is, because also most of them, they are not, they yeah. So ninkina lacagtiisi jeebku ku haysta. They all have keeping their money in their pockets, and they're not sharing it with the family. Or if they give to the minimum, and they invest back home a lot of money. And the other thing is, the woman is doing the same thing also. She's keeping. There's two levels. There's either men are abusing women, or women are abusing the men. So some men are really good. They're doing everything for their family. They are trying to be helpful. But then the woman, she takes that and then she abuses it, and she goes, this guy is under my thumb. I can do whatever I like. And then she's sitting there. So both men and women need to wake up and smell the coffee, man. They need to understand that these kids are ending up getting knifed or knifing somebody or in jail or in difficult situation. Why? Because.
But do you think, Khadr, do you think it's always easy just to blame the man? Because this is what 2020 where we're coming from. Just to blame men nowadays. It's up to you. Well, if you want all of this equality and all of this bullshit, some of the things we have to scrutinize you and look at you and say, well, sis, like, what's going on there? What's all this belittlement?
Men have been getting held accountable for everything for decades.
I think it works to a level of, because don't forget, if we're not in our in our niche, we're not in our place. This place is not for us. Yeah. When we were back home, that system worked for our culture, but this system is not going to work for our culture. And that is where the clash is. Women feel like the men are not pulling their weight, and then they say, what's the point? Why should I keep him? I'm going to kick him out. And the men who try to do their best to, then they get abused. And then they're taken advantage of, and then and then that is, I think, what the issue is. There are men and women who understand each other, and they work together as a unit. But the majority is that it's either one way or the other.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I'm a man. Yeah. There's a lot of things that I need to be doing, which I don't do. So I'm in with everybody because that is the culture I was brought up. It's not easy for me just to switch off and switch to a different culture. Yeah. But at that, is now, first thing is you have to know yourself. We all have to know ourselves that we're not living up to our standard. Men are not living up to their standard, and women are not living up to their standard.
We're both not living up. Thank you very much. But this is the thing, with me, like Musa,
the biggest issue is.
The thing is, with Musa and the Mandem, we've realized, okay, Mandem, okay, but it's like bullshit. You forget to yourself. How can I say if you see us in a Somali or Baba say, how can you say, Now I think that's a big problem. Huh?
Yeah.
Even just us having this conversation. I think just us having this conversation, Musia, I'm getting backlash already, and I'm like, yo, it's just a bunch of people expressing opinions about themselves.
Don't stop it. Wallahi, don't stop it. Don't stop it for nobody.
I think this is the best place to start.
Look,
because
you speaking about these topics, bro, it's gonna be contentious, or it's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm not stopping. Next Sunday, there's gonna be every Sunday. There's gonna be one. Every Sunday there's gonna be one. There's gonna be one. You could call me misogynistic. All of our panels, wherever. This is men and women. Like the two sisters came on. Instead of complaining, my sisters, and being in the clicking. Come in. Let's make this into a dialogue. You get me? But at the end of the day,
friend says men are trash. They'll never say you hate men. But when
Yeah,
men
thank
say,
you.
look, we want to just speak to you lot about some
Well,
problems,
that's a
you hate
brilliant
women.
point. That's a brilliant point. No, this is what I try to explain to someone. I say women do not smoke up. Women, they shame each other. Women shame. I'm like, forget women shaming each other. Women smoke up to. Now, yeah, hebel, sukapo. A woman won't do. She'll leave that to a man, and then a man doesn't have a clue to do it, and then had no one in our society. Still in the same way, the man wallah is always going to be in a sticky predicament until some people realize, okay, hablaha, sometimes okay. This whole excuse, oh, we're better than you, we're doing better, we're achieving better, we're doing this. I'm like, all right, let me see the statistics in that as well. You get where I'm coming from? We need to see the statistics in that.
Where you're coming. Yeah, I think I understand where you're coming from, but also we have to understand that, you know, we have to be the better. You know,
yes, ask Musa and ask everyone.
We can't always go down to their level and say, oh, yeah, because the women are doing this.
Khadar. I challenge all Somali men to always be better. Always, very. I always create awareness for Raqqa. I'm always on to. I'm just saying, I'm just saying in general, yeah. In general, I'm always on Raqqa, because we need to improve. But with men, it's so easy. It's easy. Barabim. For a man, but with double K, it's so complicated. There's multiple layers to them. My feelings, it's crazy. And on that note, guys, I'm gonna end it 3 hours, but we're gonna stay in the back. We're gonna stay in the back level internet.
Yeah, I think
we're gonna stay in the back.